Chapter 1107. You've lost a lot of fur for Grandpa Grand Elder, aren't we fine? We will protect ourselves. The baby quickly comforted her. Grandpa Grand Elder, are you having fun here? Did anyone bully you? Little Chiu also asked with concern. It's fine, I have Uncle Lufeng to accompany me. I have good food and drink, who would dare to bully me? The first elder chuckled. That's good. But, Great Elder, when will we receive our compensation? Chiu asked like a little money grubber, her face full of anticipation. Don't worry, you won't be able to escape. If you lose even a single hair, it'll make the Yao family bleed. The Grand Elder said in a domineering manner. His words were heard by the Qi clan and Yao clan members who had just entered the cell. Immediately, the two clans began to panic. First Elder, these two little beasts have returned. What do you think? The head of the Yao family lowered his voice and said. However, he did not dare to be too direct. After all, he was the one who needed help. So what if you're back? Can we just pretend that nothing happened when we're back? The eldest boss raised his face and said with slight displeasure. Great Elder, I didn't mean it that way. The head of the Yao clan hurriedly said, his heart drenched in cold sweat. Then what do you mean? As far as I know, these two little beasts came back on their own. It doesn't seem to have anything to do with your young masters and young mistresses. The Great Elder asked with a dark expression, causing the Qi and Yao families to tremble with fear. If my two little beasts weren't so smart, I'm afraid they would be dead by now. The first elder said coldly, and then said to Chiu and Bao with a pleasant expression, Tell Grandpa, how did they bully you? Did you guys lose a single hair? Grandpa Great Elder, those people took the two of us to a barren mountain and wanted to harm us. However, they were more unfortunate. The bees in the mountain didn't like them, so they stung them all over their heads and saved our little lives. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't be able to see Grandpa Great Elder again sob. Chiu cried and complained pitifully, tears continuously rolling in its eyes. Grandpa Great Elder, we've lost a lot of fur. Ooh, my beautiful and precious fur. He left me just like that. The baby added, and his fluffy little face was full of sadness. You guys heard it? Not only did your young masters and young ladies take my two little beasts away, but they also tortured them in every way possible, causing them to be physically and mentally injured. What do you guys think we should do? The first elder said angrily. Great Elder Grandpa, they're still accusing you of stealing from us. Chiu reminded him in a low voice. Right, and you accused me of stealing the beast. The first elder glared at him coldly and roared fiercely. Continue reading on YB0XN0VL. Kamug. After hearing the words of the Grand Elder and the two little beasts, the members of the Qi family and the Yao family all heaved a long sigh. What the hell is this? Which part of these two little beasts looked like they had been abused in every way? From their point of view, Qi Yang and Yao Man had been subjected to inhumane abuse. However, this was determined by the Great Elder's words, so even if they had objections, they didn't dare to say it out loud. Otherwise, who knew what other crimes the Great Elder would pin on them? Don't think that you can hide just because you're not talking. Let me tell you, if you can't give me a satisfactory explanation, it'll go to your master to judge. I've lived for so many years, but I've never been locked in a cell or accused of stealing. The first elder saw that the Qi family and the Yao family didn't dare to talk, so he threatened them. In fact, their main family already knew about this. Grand Elder, please calm down. We will definitely satisfy you. Seeing this, Qi Yuan had no choice but to speak up. Well, that's more like it. When First Elder heard Qi Yuan's words, he pretended to nod his head in satisfaction. First Elder, now that your little beast has returned, do you think you can leave this place? Qi Yuan seized the opportunity and said that if the Great Elder continued to stay here, he would not be able to stay in the Qi family main residence anymore. He might as well move here to accompany the Great Elder. Leave? No, you guys haven't satisfied me yet. This old man won't leave. The Great Elder refused without even thinking. What a joke, would he still have the chance to come in if he left? At that time, What if those two old geezers from the Qi and Yao families turned against them and went back on their word? Who could he go to? Therefore, he was determined not to leave. First Elder, it's not a good idea for you to stay here all the time, right? Qi Tong received the clan head's eye signal and interrupted. Who said that? I think it's pretty good here. The only downside is that there are always people coming to disturb us. If only you didn't come. The first elder said with a regretful expression. Ah. The Qi clan and Yao clan's people were collectively depressed. They thought to themselves that they wanted to come here. However, there was the great elder in this prison, so they had no choice but to come. Besides, unless the great elder took the initiative to leave, they really could not ask him to leave. You can all go back. Don't disturb my rest. The great elder began to drive people away again. Great elder, please. You've been staying here all this time. If word gets out, the Yao family head didn't finish his sentence, but he believed that the great elder would understand. So what if it spread? In going all out, paper can't hide fire. This matter will be known to others sooner or later. The first elder said as if he had thought things through. This time, the people from the two families were speechless. The great elder didn't care about his reputation, so what else could they say? However, they didn't dare to let this matter spread out. Otherwise, it would be even more disadvantageous for them. Helplessly, everyone could only turn around and leave. Just as Leng Ruoxue and the rest were about to leave, they were stopped by the first elder. Little girl, bring me some more delicious food. The first elder said with a face full of smiles. Put the money on the Qi and Yao clan's accounts. The great elder added. No problem, he said. Leng Ruoxue nodded and left the cell with Feng De and the others. Qiu and baby Su stayed in the cell to accompany the great elder. Chapter 1108, You've Lost a Lot of Fur, 5. The next morning, Qi Yang and Yao Man were also brought to the great elder, to be dealt with as they pleased. However, the great elder only glanced at them casually and said in disdain, Why did you bring these two guys here? I don't want to see them. So it's you damn old man. Yao Man roared in anger as soon as she saw the great elder. No wonder she and Qi Yang had been locked up as soon as they had returned to the city. She had not understood what had happened back then. No one mentioned to her why she was locked up, but the touch of being touched when she returned to the city to see her clansmen disappeared with her being locked up. Man, don't be rude. Without waiting for the great elder to speak, the Yao family head who heard these words roared angrily. Damn it, was this Yao Man trying to get the Yao family killed? What kind of status did the head elder of the Armament Guild headquarters have? Could she scold him? Grandpa, how can you shout at me for this old man? I'm your real granddaughter. Yao Man retorted with a face full of dissatisfaction. But the head of the Yao family slapped Yao Man across the face, and his entire body trembled in anger. When first elder saw this, he smiled but didn't say anything. He lowered his head and kept teasing Qiu and the baby in his arms. Grandpa, you actually hit me. Tears welled up in Yao Man's eyes as she said in an aggrieved tone. She had never thought that her grandfather would hit her for a strange old man. She couldn't accept it. She turned around and roared madly at the grand elder and the two little beasts. It's all because of you three old bastards and little bastards that I got beaten up. I won't let you off. Just you wait. Lu Feng, Grandpa is being threatened. When the great elder heard this, he immediately complained to Lu Feng pitifully. Qiu and Bao also tacitly learned from the first elder and asked for help from Lu Feng. Brother Lu Feng, we've also been threatened by a beast. Lu Feng's mouth twitched when he heard the words of the old man and the two children. He helplessly said, Miss Yao, are you sure you won't let them off? The head of the Yao family was about to speak when he heard Lu Feng's words. However, under Lu Feng's fierce glare, he didn't dare to say anything. However, at this time, his heart was burning with anxiety. He really wanted to knock out the willful Yao Man so that she wouldn't cause endless trouble for the Yao family. However, Lu Feng wouldn't give him this opportunity. He directly bound him and made him unable to move. Of course, our Yao family will not let them off. Yao Man said arrogantly. Miss Yao sure has big words. I hope your wish will come true. Lu Feng laughed and mocked. Continue reading on LIB0XN0VL. Calm, little Feng Feng, you can't just ignore Grandpa. Seeing Lu Feng like this, the great elder pretended to be pitiful. Grandpa, it's not that I don't care about you, but I can't afford to offend the Yao family. Lu Feng sighed, his handsome face filled with helplessness. You're tactful. Hearing Lu Feng's words, Yao Man became more and more smug. However, Lu Feng ignored her words. He looked at Qi Yang and curiously asked, Young Master Qi, why aren't you saying anything? He's not feeling well and can't speak now. Qi Yuan said hurriedly, and thought to himself, that was close. Fortunately, they had the foresight to give Qi Yang a medicine that could temporarily shut him up. Otherwise, if Qi Yang had spoken nonsense like Yao Man, then the Qi family would not have been able to survive in the divinity. Young Master Qi, did my grandfather steal Miss Yao's beast? Lu Feng asked with an evil smile. Hee. Don't you know how to nod if you don't speak? That's right, those two little bastards were originally mine, but they were stolen by this old man. Before Qi Yang could answer, Yao Man cut in. Miss Yao, I didn't ask you. Lu Feng said with a smile that wasn't a smile, his bright eyes staring at Qi Yang. However, before Qi Yang had the chance to reply, he fainted. The person who did this was none other than Qi Tong, who was standing behind Qi Yang. Qi Tong cried out in shock. Following which, he apologetically said to the great elder and Lu Feng, I'm sorry is not feeling well. I'll take him away first. I'll bring him to first elder to ask for forgiveness later. Yesterday, after Qi Yang and Yao Man returned, the two families had been discussing how to get the great elder out of prison and what kind of compensation would satisfy the great elder. So, they had forgotten to tell them about the great elder's identity. When they thought about it today, they had already arrived at the prison. In a moment of desperation, Qi Tong and the patriarch had discussed giving Qi Yang some medicine to prevent that unfilial grandson from speaking nonsense in order to please the Yao family's young lady. Now it seemed that he was indeed wise. Looking at Qi Tong's self-directed act, Lu Feng didn't say anything, nor did he try to stop him. On the contrary, he quite admired Qi Tong's actions. After all, if one didn't do it for himself, the heavens would punish him. If they could push the Yao clan out, their Qi clan would be relatively safe. Seeing Qi Tong take Qi Yang away, the Yao family's head was filled with anger. However, no matter how angry he was, it was useless because he couldn't move, let alone knock Yao Man unconscious. Miss Yao, you're the only one left now. Qi Yang is sick and can't testify for you. Are you still going to insist that the two little beasts are yours? Lu Feng asked with a smile that was not a smile. Of course, they're mine. Yao Man said with conviction. Fine, if you say it's yours, then it's yours. But I want to tell you that the Qi family and the Yao family's patriarchs will be here in 3 days. Lu Feng announced an explosive piece of news. Instantly, Qi Yuan and the head of the Yao family were blown away. However, when Yao Man heard the news, she couldn't help but smile happily. The patriarch is coming, and you're all dead. Miss Yao, don't be too pleased with yourself. It's not even certain who will die. Lu Feng warned with a light smile. Suddenly, plop. With a loud bang, the head of the Yao family, who had suffered a great shock, also fell to the ground. Aya, your family head has fainted, what are you all still standing there for? Hurry up and help him up. Lu Feng quickly warned his subordinates. The Yao family's subordinates finally reacted and hurriedly helped the unconscious master up. Then, they all looked at Lu Feng at a loss, waiting for his next order. Why are you guys looking at me? Hurry up and help your family head back. Alright, take this woman with you as well. We'll only need her in 3 days, but she's not allowed to appear in front of us now. Lu Feng ordered. Yes. Yes, master. The Yao family's subordinates replied. Then, they carried Yao Man and the head of the Yao family back to their residence. After that, Qi Yuan was also asked to leave. Qi family head, why aren't you leaving yet? Are you waiting for dinner? Lu Feng said with a smirk. I'll take my leave first. Qi Yuan wiped the cold sweat off his forehead and said hurriedly. He couldn't help but feel sick when he left. It wasn't even noon yet. Even if he had to wait, he should wait for lunch, right? After everyone had left, Lu Feng calmly looked at the great elder and said, "Old man, are you satisfied now? Not satisfied? I'm going to make those two old things bleed this time. I'm not that easy to be wronged or locked up." The first elder said indignantly, "Old man, can I say that whoever provokes you will be the unlucky one?" Lu Feng said with a light smile, "Stinky brat, in the entire divine realm, you're the only one who's still alive and well after making me angry all the time, do you understand?" The first elder lifted his eyelids and said in a faint voice, "I know." Lu Feng said with a mischievous smile. Then he stood up and swaggered out of the cell. After Lu Feng returned to the Qi family courtyard, he immediately went to look for Leng Ruoxue and told her about the Grand Elder's plan. Then he returned to the prison. 3 days later, a few influential figures had come from the divine world. Any one of these figures could cause a great earthquake in the divine world. Besides the current family heads of the Qi family and the Yao family, the family head of the Ning family had also come along with a few elders from the Craftsmen's Guild. The first thing these people did when they arrived at Qi City was to visit the first elder in the prison. The master of the Ning family saw the great elder leisurely staying in the cell and couldn't help but laugh happily. I can't believe there'll be a day when an old thing like you is locked up in a cell. It's really rare." The head of the Ning family was very happy, but the heads of the Qi family and the Yao family weren't as optimistic as him. They were even prepared to be ruthlessly ripped off by this old man, who asked the descendants of their own families to be so disappointing. When they thought of this, their hearts ached. "Grand Elder, we've personally come to pick you up. Can we leave now?" The head of the Qi family asked politely. Chapter 1109. It's not our fault that we're cute. 1. Yup. Great Elder, we've come to pick you up. You can leave now. The head of the Yao family hurriedly asked. "This place is pretty good. Do you guys want to come in and stay for a few days?" The first elder asked indifferently, completely ignoring their questions. "That's a good suggestion. I've lived for so long, but I've never been in a prison cell. Qi family brat, arrange a cell for me too. Let's just stay next to this old man." The master of the Ning family immediately agreed. However, when Qi Yuan heard this, he couldn't bring himself to be happy. He even felt like crying. Wasn't it enough to have a grand elder and a vice president of the Armament Guild headquarters staying in their Qi City's prison cell? The master of the Ning family actually wanted to move in. This was clearly bullying. Don't make things difficult for the younger generation. The head of the Qi family quickly said when he heard the words of the Ning family. What a joke. The first elder was already hard enough to deal with. If old man Ning moved in, the Qi family would go bankrupt. I'm not making things difficult for the younger generation. I'm serious. The master of the Ning family said seriously. Whether it's true or not, you have to go back to your Ning family's prison. Our Qi family's prison can't hold a Buddha like you. The head of the Qi family said hatefully. Damn old man, you only know how to wish for the world to be in chaos. It was really infuriating. The great elder can be locked up here, but I can tea? You're clearly looking down on me. We've been old friends for so many years, yet you won't even give me this little bit of face? The master of the Ning family felt extremely wronged, and even had an expression that said, "You look down on me. Don't mess around." The head of the Qi family said with a headache. "You said I'm causing trouble." "I'm angry." Master Ning's face darkened, and he angrily sat in a corner, ignoring everyone else. Seeing Master Ning like this, Master Qi really wanted to beat him up. Now, he had to solve the first elder's problem. "What are you doing? Still acting cute, isn't that shameless? Great elder grandpa, this old grandpa is acting coquettishly." Chiu suddenly spoke up when it saw Master Ning's appearance. "Yes, that old man is always like this. Ignore him." The first elder said disapprovingly. This old fellow didn't respect his elders and was even putting on an act here. Wasn't he afraid of being laughed at? "Little guy, You actually called me old grandpa? The master of the Ning family looked at the little beastie in the arms of the great elder and said. Hearing Qiuqiu's childlike words, he was instantly a little unhappy. He was still young, okay? How could he call him old grandpa? He would be called old. Did I call you the wrong person? Qiuqiu blinked its clear and innocent eyes and asked with a face full of question marks. Continue reading on MIB0XN0VL. Calm, that's right, he's an old man. He's already so old, but he still likes to act young and cute. Little Qiuqiu, ignore him. The great elder didn't give any face and exposed the Ning family's master's true face. Oh, old grandpa, you're not allowed to fight for my favor. Little Qiuqiu stood in front of the great elder like it was protecting its food and opened its chubby little claws. I don't intend to fight with you for your favor. The little guy, let's discuss. Can you not call me old grandpa? The master of the Ning family said with a charming smile. You're the old grandpa. Sister said that children should be honest and not lie. Qiuqiu said with a troubled expression. This is not a lie, really. Which part of me looks like an old grandpa? The master of the Ning family said sincerely. Everywhere. Qiuqiu sized up Master Ning very seriously, then said with absolute certainty. In fact, Master Ning looked like he was in his 30s. He was very handsome, tall, and had an extraordinary aura. However, because he had acted cute just now, Qiuqiu didn't like him very much and deliberately called him old grandpa. You're really not a cute little fellow. The master of the Ning family complained in a low voice. Damn old man, you dare to say that my Qiuqiu isn't cute? When the first elder heard the Ning family master's complaint, he glared and said in dissatisfaction. No, how could this little Qiuqiu not be cute? The master of the Ning family quickly changed his words. You're tactful. The first elder said in a domineering manner. The Qi family and Yao family patriarchs were speechless when they saw this. They had come to settle the first elder's matter, but now that the Ning family old man had messed it up, they couldn't do anything. Cough, cough. Thinking of this, the Qi clan and Yao clan's patriarchs coughed a few times, drawing their attention. Take some medicine if your throat isn't good. Don't disturb us when we're talking about serious business. The master of the Ning family said unhappily. When the Qi family and Yao family heads heard this, they couldn't help but curse in their hearts. Fuck, is that considered serious business? They were the real deal, all right? Master Ning, we're here to pick up the Grand Elder and take him away from here. The head of the Qi family couldn't help but remind him. I know. But this old man isn't leaving. You can't just drag them away. The master of the Ning family laughed evilly, and the devil in the depths of his heart was getting restless. Not long ago, he had been robbed by this old man many times. Now, it was Qi clan and Yao clan's turn, so he couldn't miss this good show. It's not impossible for me to leave this place, as long as you can give me a satisfactory explanation. At this time, First Elder slowly opened his mouth and said, Grand Elder, can you leave this place first? We will definitely give you a satisfactory explanation. The head of the Qi family coaxed. Don't leave those two to me. I'm not interested in them. The first elder reminded. Everyone knew that the two guys he was referring to were Qi Yang and Yao Man. Didn't they annoy you? It's normal to leave it to you. The patriarch of the Yao clan said. If you hand them over to me, I don't have anywhere to deal with them. If I really have to deal with them, then so be it. Who knows, someone might even say that I'm bullying the younger generation. The first elder said in an understanding manner. If he really wanted to get rid of those two juniors who had provoked him, would he have waited until now? And since he had brought them here, he didn't intend for them to play dumb. It definitely wouldn't work if he didn't bleed a lot. Then what do you want? The head of the Qi family made up his mind and finally asked the question he didn't want to ask the most. Chapter 11:10. It's not our fault that we're cute, too. You're quite smart. The first elder laughed as he spoke, before rolling his eyes at the Yao family head. This is the list of items that I've prepared for you two to compensate me and these two pitiful little beasts. Please take a look. The great elder did not beat around the bush. Instead, he directly took out 2 pieces of paper that were densely written and handed them to the two. The Qi family and Yao family heads took the list and almost fainted when they saw it. This was really a lion's mouth. Every item on the list was either priceless or priceless. They couldn't be bought even if they had money. This was clearly trying to rip them off. First elder, is there any room for discussion regarding the things on this? The head of the Yao family pretended to be calm as he asked, implying that he wanted to bargain. No, I didn't. Don't worry, these things won't harm your 2 families. Outsiders don't understand the financial power of your 2 families, but I do. The great elder said very proudly. He had thought about these things carefully and was familiar with them. Although it would hurt them a little, it definitely wouldn't cause them to turn hostile. After all, they had known each other for so long and could be considered friends. Naturally, he couldn't go too far. Grand Elder, I've agreed to all the conditions on this list. Can you leave the cell now? The head of the Qi family said readily. He just wanted to get the first elder out of the cell as soon as possible, so he was prepared to pay a huge price. The items on the first elder's list were exactly what he had expected. After all, the first elder's status was obvious. Naturally, he couldn't offer any ordinary conditions. The Yao family head hasn't agreed yet? The first elder looked at the head of the Yao family and said with a smile. Yao family head, quickly agree. If you don't agree now, perhaps the great elder will raise the price. The head of the Qi family reminded him in a low voice. When the head of the Yao family heard the words of the Qi family, he was extremely depressed. He also wanted to agree, but the compensation that his Yao family had to pay was much more than the Qi family's. This was too unfair. Grand Elder, I don't understand. Since the Qi clan and our Yao clan's juniors have offended you together, why is it that our Yao clan has to pay more compensation than the Qi clan? The head of the Yao family asked shamelessly, and his words almost angered the head of the Qi family to death. No wonder you didn't agree. It turns out that you're haggling over this matter. At this thought, the head of the Qi family decided to draw a clear line with the Yao family. After all, they had originally planned to work together to bargain with the first elder. That's true. However, I've always been clear about who's the mastermind and who's the accomplice. So, the compensation for your 2 families is naturally different. The great elder explained. Great elder is wise. The head of the Qi family quickly flattered. Qi family head, I want to receive the compensation within 3 days. Otherwise, I'll collect interest. First elder warned. Yao family head, the same goes for you. If you don't pay the compensation I want within 3 days, the interest will double for every day you delay. First elder reminded. Continue reading on LIB0XN0VL. Calm after hearing what the great elder said, the 2 family heads' lips twitched, and they secretly sighed. There's even interest. This great elder is really getting better at sucking blood. How would they know that first elder had actually learned to collect interest from Leng Ruoxue? Alright, you can leave now. I'll leave this cell when you pay me the compensation. After living here for so long, I've developed feelings for him. The great elder muttered to himself as he drove the person away. The Qi and Yao family heads knew that this old man never went back on his word, so they didn't plan to stay any longer. However, just as they were about to leave, they were stopped by little Qiu. Wait! Qiu suddenly said. Little guy, what do you want? The head of the Qi family said in a soft voice. You haven't paid me and my brother's compensation yet. Qiu said, a little scared. Qiu's words had just fallen when everyone, including First Elder, was stunned. The Great Elder looked at the 2 little treasures in his arms and thought to himself that the compensation he wanted included these 2 little fellows. However, the Great Elder wisely chose to remain silent. The Qi and Yao clan patriarchs looked at each other, before Patriarch Qi asked in confusion, Little guy, what kind of compensation do you want? When we were in the floating cloud city, a bad woman from the Qi clan wanted to capture us. After we arrived in the city, we were captured by that bad woman from the Yao clan. The public security in your Qi clan's divine realm is just too poor, causing me and brother Bao Bao to be physically and mentally injured. We have also suffered a great deal of damage, so you have to compensate us. Little Chiu listed out the crimes committed by the Qi family and the Yao family one by one, and the faces of the two family heads kept changing like a palette. After a long while, the two patriarchs finally calmed down a little. The head of the Qi family took a deep breath and asked calmly, "I wonder what kind of compensation this little fellow wants? I don't have the status of Grandpa Grand Elder, so I'll just go with Grandpa Grand Elder's request and cut it by half. However, I only want heavenly resources and earthly treasures. I'm not interested in anything else." The little ball stated its request. However, its words caused the Qi and Yao family heads to be extremely angry. A small beast actually asked them for compensation and even asked for half of the Great Elder's. However, they knew that the small beast was under the Great Elder's protection, so even if they were angry, they would not show it in front of him. "Little guy, what's the use of heavenly treasures for a little beast like you? You don't even know how to refine pills. How about I give you some jingsher?" The head of the Qi family discussed with a smile. Crystals could be absorbed directly and were much more useful to the beastie than heavenly materials and earthly treasures. "I don't want jingsher, I just want heavenly treasures." Little Chiu was very stubborn. "Even if you want the treasures, you can't just ask for half of the compensation from the Grand Elder, right? Do you know how many there are?" The head of the Yao family said, suppressing his anger. "I know. I can count, don't try to fool me." Chiu reminded. "The younger generation of your two families caused us to lose a lot of hair, so what's wrong with compensating us with some natural treasures? Do you have to be so petty?" At this moment, the baby spoke with a look of disdain. Chapter 11:11. It's not our fault that we're cute. 3. The Qi and Yao family heads were speechless. It was clearly them who wanted too much, but why did it sound like they were being stingy? "Ha! I say, it's rare for these two little guys to open their mouths, so just give it to them. Don't be so stingy, you are gods with status and status." The master of the Ning family, who had seen enough of the show, interrupted. "All right, I agree to your compensation." The Qi family head gritted his teeth and nodded. He couldn't be looked down upon by these two little beasts. Besides, there was still the Ning family's old man who was ready to cause trouble at any time. "You're the most straightforward old man. They'll remember you," Chiu said with a smile. "However, you have to plant the natural treasures we want in the soil. After you're done, we'll go find them ourselves." Chiu added hee. Although this was suspicious of cheating, he still had to take advantage of the loopholes for the sake of cultivation. After hearing Chiu's words, the Qi family head was completely speechless. Not only did he have to compensate the two little fellows for their treasures, but he also had to plant them back into the soil so that they could find them on their own. Did they think that this was a treasure hunt? That's a good idea. Little guys, you're pretty good at playing." Master Ning praised with a smile. Chiu smiled but didn't say anything. Since they thought it was for fun, then let them think so, "All right, I've said what I wanted to say. You can leave." Chiu mimicked the Great Elder's way of driving him away. The Qi family and the Yao family left the prison gloomily under the lead of the two family heads who were not in a good mood. However, the Ning family head and the elders of the Craftsmen's Association stayed. "First Elder, how long do you plan to stay here?" An elder asked curiously. They were here to encourage the Great Elder. In other words, they were here to cooperate with the Great Elder in this robbery. However, looking at the situation just now, it seemed that there was no room for them to play. "I'll leave after I get the compensation," the Great Elder said honestly. "Old Man Lu, you're really ruthless this time. The things you want, some of them even make my heart ache." Master Ning said, gloating. He had glanced at the list given by the First Elder, so he naturally saw the contents. "Ruthless? I've taken so many things from the Yao family, you should be very happy," the First Elder said. Although the Ning family and the Yao family seemed to be at peace on the surface, they had fought many times in secret. "Yes, I feel better. Not long ago, you also robbed me of a lot of things. This time, Your armament guild headquarters is going to be rich again. Master Ning said with envy. Continue reading on MIB0XN0VL. Calm, then who can you blame? The great elder rolled his eyes at Master Ning and said disapprovingly. Blame me, all right. Master Ning said unhappily. You 8 great clans are the richest in the divine realm. If I don't rob you, who else would I rob? The great elder chuckled. There had to be a reason for the robbery. Otherwise, it would be no different from daylight robbery. You've already robbed 3 of the 8 great clans. Do you want to rob the other 5 as well? Master Ning suggested. I want to, but I don't have any reason. The great elder's face was filled with conflict, and he seemed to be very distressed. If there's no reason, you can create a reason. However, you have to count me in this time. Master Ning said with an evil smile. Old man, are you very free recently? The first elder was suspicious. Yes, I've let Leng manage the family matters for the time being, so I'm planning to have some fun in the upper reaches of the godly mainland. Master Ning revealed his plan. So it was like this. However, you can't rush things like robbery. You must have the right time, the right place, and the right people. The great elder thought for a moment and said, if this old thing joined them, wouldn't the compensation they received be doubled? There's no rush. When we find the right opportunity, we'll ruthlessly rip off those 5 families. Master Ning said with an evil smile. Listening to these 2 influential figures in the divine world discussing the robbery, the elders of the Craftsmen's Guild were dripping with cold sweat. However, at the same time, they were also somewhat glad that they were not the ones who were about to be robbed. Otherwise, they were afraid that they would not even be left with their bones. Great Elder Grandpa, this old grandpa is so bad. Listening to their plan, Chiyo also expressed his opinion. That's because this old man is full of evil intentions. The first elder said with a smile. Little thing, how am I bad? Master Ning felt wronged. You're scheming against others. Isn't that bad enough? Chiyo retorted. Master Ning was speechless. It seemed that this little thing had already determined his character. However, he seemed to be quite bad. All right, don't be depressed anymore. Go and help me scare that old bastard from the Yao family. The Grand Elder ordered. Are you afraid that he won't pay the compensation? Master Ning asked, knowing the answer. Of course, that old man won't give me the compensation so easily. However, if you do it, he will have to agree. The first elder laughed softly. What do I get in return? Master Ning was not willing to be used as a tool and asked quickly. You still want benefits? The great elder asked Master Ning with a faint smile. I'm just joking, don't take it seriously. Master Ning wiped the cold sweat from his forehead. Although the great elder's strength was not as high as his, he was very afraid of the old man's threat. He didn't know why. Then hurry up. They'll be waiting for your good news. The Grand Elder urged. All right, then I'll go. Master Ning said, resigned to his fate, and then turned to leave the cell. 2 days later, the Chi family's compensation was handed over to First Elder, but as for little Chiyo's request, it would take a few days. According to the news from the Chi clan, although Chi Yang and his son had managed to keep their lives, they had all been demoted to servants, and would never be able to rise again. To the members of the clan, such a punishment was even more unbearable than death. Chapter 11:12. It's not our fault that we're cute, for, as for the Yao family, although they had also punished Yao Man, the compensation that the Great Elder and Chiyo had requested had not been delivered yet. However, there was still 1 day before the deadline given by the Great Elder, so the Great Elder and the others were extremely calm. In the cell, the First Elder and Master Ning were playing chess while waiting for the Yao family's news. At this moment, in the Yao family's residence, the Yao family head was sitting in the main hall with a gloomy face, and the Yao family's younger generation was kneeling in front of him. Yao Chong, is this how you manage the Yao family in the godly mainland? The Yao family head asked in a cold voice. Old ancestor, Yao Chong is guilty. Yao Chong said hurriedly. Although he did not know if he could escape this time, it was not wrong to admit to his crimes first. Guilty? What crime are you guilty of? The Yao family head asked angrily. I didn't educate my descendants well. I'm sorry to disappoint you, ancestor. Yao Chong lowered his head and said, This is only the case on the divine continent. If we were in the divine realm, your descendants would have caused a lot of trouble. The head of the Yao family reproached in a rage. Please forgive me, ancestor. Yao Chong kept kowtowing and quickly said, I can spare you from death, but I can't spare you from punishment. I'll still let you be the head of the family, but you have to find a way to make contributions in place of your crimes. As for your incompetent descendants, you can choose some of them yourself and send them to the mine. The Yao family head said, Yes. When Yao Chong heard this, he heaved a sigh of relief. Although the old ancestor was very angry, it was good that he did not kill everyone in his line. As for those who were really incompetent and had caused trouble, he would just let them run their own course. As for the members of the Yao family, especially those who were related to Yao Man, when they heard that they were going to be sent to the mine, they were so scared that they fainted immediately, because going to the mine was worse than being a servant. There, unless you're dead tired, don't even think about leaving. After dealing with the eyesore of the Yao family, the head of the Yao family was depressed again. As long as he thought of the huge compensation, his heart would bleed non-stop. However, he had to pay the compensation. The old man, the great elder, was famous for being difficult and unreasonable. He was also one of the people he didn't want to provoke the most. He had wanted to delay it for a few days and negotiate with the great elder, but he didn't expect that the Qi family had already paid the compensation. Moreover, Master Ning also came to remind him that since he couldn't avoid it, he might as well pay the compensation quickly, so as not to lose more than he gained. Although he knew this very well, he was not willing to accept this. Continue reading on LIB0XN0VL. Another 2 days passed. There was still no movement from the Yao clan, and the Grand Elder was still in the cell, but the Qi clan had already settled little Qiuqiu's request. The location of the treasure that little Qiuqiu had requested was chosen to be in the Qi family's courtyard. This was mainly because they had taken into account that Leng Ruoxue and the others were staying there. Therefore, it would be easier to find. After all, in the eyes of the Qi family, this was just a game to satisfy children. On the day of the treasure hunt, First Elder arranged for Lu Feng to continue staying in the prison cell, while he, Qiuqiu, and Bao Bao went to the Qi family's courtyard to explore. Naturally, the Ning family head and the elders of the Craftsmen's Guild came with them. In the garden, the first elder pointed at Master Ning and said to Leng Ruoxue and the rest, This old man is the master of the Ning family. If anyone from the Ning family bullies you in the future, you can complain to him. I guarantee that he will be the master for you. Hearing the first elder's confident words, Leng Ruoxue's forehead broke out in cold sweat. She thought to herself, First Elder, where does your confidence come from? In any case, he was the head of the Ning family, so how could he help an outsider? However, she naturally would not say this out loud. This little girl must be the little girl you told me about. Master Ning said with a smile, looking very affable. Yes, this little girl is my god-granddaughter. You can't let her be bullied by the Ning family. The first elder said with a face full of pride. He even automatically considered Leng Ruoxue as his own granddaughter. Don't worry, I'll take care of her. Master Ning's eyes kept sizing up Leng Ruoxue. The more he looked, the more satisfied he was. Although this little girl's strength was not very high now, she had great potential and was a talent that could be nurtured. The crowd listened to their conversation, but no one exposed the great elder's lies. In their eyes, the great elder had been thinking about their miss for a long time. While the few of them were exchanging pleasantries, Qiuqiu and Bao Bao were a little impatient from waiting, so they started to look for treasures first. Qiuqiu and its baby ran around the garden, looking here and there. Not long after, the natural treasures that the Qi clan had deliberately planted were discovered by the two little fellows. When everyone saw how happy they were, they couldn't help but join in the treasure-hunting army. A day passed, and Qiuqiu finally found all the natural treasures. It followed first elder back to the prison cell in satisfaction. The Chi family members heaved a sigh of relief when they saw that they were finally satisfied. However, the great elder was still in the cell and refused to leave, which made them uneasy. The head of the Chi family thought for a while and also began to exert pressure on the Yao family. At the same time, the Alchemist Guild headquarters also sent people to Chi City to visit the great elder. When the Yao family head heard this news, his head suddenly swelled again, and he couldn't help but curse in his heart. What was the Alchemist Guild headquarters doing here? If the Alchemist Guild headquarters and the Armament Guild headquarters joined forces, it would be too disadvantageous to their Yao family. When he thought of this, he didn't dare to delay any longer and immediately sent someone to deliver the compensation to the first elder in the cell. However, the person he sent came back to report that the great elder had said that the time limit was up, so the Yao family had to pay interest. When the Yao family head saw the interest list, he really wanted to buy a piece of tofu and knock himself to death. Damn, this interest was too expensive. It actually took up 20% of the compensation that the Yao family had paid. However, he still had to resign himself to his fate and send someone to immediately send the interest to the great elder so as not to pay more compensation. As for Qiuqiu's request, he would also have to wait a few days before he could fulfill it. 3 days later, the Yao family had finally completed Qiuqiu's request, and the planting location was also chosen to be in the Qi family's courtyard. After everyone experienced the joy of treasure hunting once again, the great elder was finally willing to leave the cell. Before he left, he was quite reluctant and even left a message. If there's a chance in the future, he'll come back and see you again. The Qi family's hearts trembled in fear, and they made a prompt decision to close the cell in Qi City. Chapter 11:13. It's not our fault that we're cute. 5. After this matter came to an end, First Elder also moved into the Qi family courtyard. However, as long as the Grand Elder and the others did not leave Qi City, the Qi family members' hearts were hanging in the air. They could not let go even if they wanted to. Furthermore, the head of the Qi family had warned the younger generation of the Qi family to stay far away from the people living in the courtyard. No one was allowed to provoke those people. He was truly afraid. From then on, the first elder would take Qiuqiu and baby out on the streets when he had nothing to do. Along with them was the master of the Ning family. In the garden, Leng Ruoxue was lying on the deck chair, basking in the sun as she listened to Feng Day's report. When she heard that the great elder and Master Ning had gone out to hang out on the streets again, she could not help but feel a few black lines sliding down her forehead. She thought to herself, what's wrong with these two old men who only want to see the world in chaos? In the entire Qi City, who would dare to provoke them? The people on the street had already received the Qi family's warning. They would only hide far away when they saw them. Why would they approach them? Unless they were outsiders. On the streets, the great elder and Master Ning each carried a cute little beast and walked aimlessly on the street. The two kept instigating Qiuqiu and the baby, who were already very cute, to put on a cute look to attract other people's attention. However, the pedestrians on the street had basically received a warning from the people above and knew that these two people and two beasts could not be provoked. How would they dare to throw away their lives in front of them? Just as the two young-looking old men were feeling extremely depressed, the person who was going to die finally arrived. Stop! I want to buy these two little beasts. State your price. Suddenly, a beautiful woman blocked their path and spoke arrogantly. The woman was dressed in gorgeous clothes and had an extremely beautiful face. She looked to be in her early 20s, but her arrogance greatly reduced her beauty. I'm sorry, these two little beasts are our precious treasures. We're not selling them. Master Ning frowned and said unhappily, you have to sell them. I've taken a fancy to these two little beasts, so you have to sell them to me. The young woman was unusually overbearing. Then, she threw 2 pieces of lower-grade crystal stones on the ground as the money to buy the 2 little beasts. Miss, are you trying to force me to buy it? The master of the Ning family laughed instead of getting angry. He had seen many willful and overbearing women, but he had never seen such a domineering woman. Even the daughter he doted on very much didn't dare to be like this outside. Didn't I already pay you guys? The young woman said unhappily, her face clearly saying, "Don't be insensible." A few big words. These 2 low-grade crystals on the ground are the money you want to buy our 2 cute little beasts? The great elder also asked curiously. Whose daughter was this? He wasn't inferior to the one from the Yao family. In fact, he felt that this person was even more outrageous than the one from the Yao family. At least in his opinion, paying him 2 pieces of low-grade crystal stones was more humiliating than locking him up in a cell. Moreover, it seemed that he could only get one of these 2 crystal stones, and the other one was naturally Old Man Ning. Continue reading on LIB0XN0VL. That's right, I've already paid you. These 2 little beasts are mine now. The young woman said matter-of-factly. AI. It's not our fault that we're cute. Chiu, who was in the first elder's arms, suddenly sighed, its cute little face full of innocence. Its cute appearance made the young woman's heart itch. She wanted to hold the little beast in her arms right now. We're not selling. The head of the Ning family refused. Fuck, did he think they had never seen low-grade Jingshi? How dare you? My family's young miss wants to buy your beast pet, and you dare to refuse? You really don't want to live anymore. The woman didn't have time to get angry before her subordinates spoke up. This old man has lived for so long, but this is the first time someone has dared to speak to me like this. The master of the Ning family smiled faintly. In his eyes, that person was no different from a dead person. This should be my second time. First elder thought for a moment and agreed. No matter how many times you've tried, you're all dead today. That person said, using his authority as a fox to intimidate others. At this time, he still didn't know that his head was already on the verge of collapse. Is that so? The master of the Ning family sneered. Although they had come out to wait for rabbits, it did not mean that they were willing to be humiliated by rabbits. These rabbits had lived to the end. Of course. The man said arrogantly before he sensed any danger. However, in the blink of an eye, that person's head and body were separated. Seeing this, the young woman couldn't help but scream, "Arg! Murder! Hurry up! Quickly catch them, don't let them escape. Also, remember to take my 2 little beasts for me." Yes. The woman's guards received the order to surround the great elder and the master of the Ning family, but in an instant, those guards all fell to the ground, unconscious. No one even saw how the great elder and the master of the Ning family had attacked. After dealing with the guards, the great elder and the master of the Ning family slowly walked to the young woman and looked down at her. They slightly released a trace of pressure, which immediately made the woman shiver in fear. "Oh, don't do anything stupid. Do you know who I am? If you dare to hurt me, my family will not let you off." The young woman held on and even took out a token she carried with her as a threat. When the first elder saw the token the young woman took out, he couldn't help but laugh wildly. The master of the Ning family, on the other hand, turned around and left with a dark face. "Hey, wait for me!" The great elder shouted from behind in a good mood. However, the master of the Ning family didn't seem to hear the great elder's words. Instead, he walked faster and faster. When he returned to the Qi family's courtyard, he went straight into his room. Leng Ruoxue, who was basking in the sun in the garden, saw a black shadow flash by and heard a bang. The door closed, and her curiosity was piqued. Was that the master of the Ning family? Leng Ruoxue asked the evildoer beside her with uncertainty. Yes. The demon nodded. The Ning family's old man was also living in a side courtyard and was their neighbor. Didn't he go to the streets with the great elder? Why did you come back so quickly? Leng Ruoxue was puzzled. It looked like this old man from the Ning family was quite angry. He did not know who had provoked him. Not long after, First Elder also returned with a face full of smiles. When Leng Ruoxue saw the evil smile on First Elder's face, she couldn't help but guess. Could it be that First Elder had angered Master Ning? These 2 old men also liked to bicker when they had nothing to do. "Little girl, is Old Man Ning back?" First Elder asked in a low voice. "Yes, he went into his room as soon as he came back." "First Elder, did you anger him?" Leng Ruoxue asked nosily. It has nothing to do with me. First elder quickly said. It has nothing to do with me, Qiu also said. You guys went out together, so it has nothing to do with you. Did you guys meet someone blind? Leng Ruoxue guessed as her beautiful eyes kept wandering between First Elder and Qiu. It's not our fault that we're cute. Qiu had an aggrieved look on its face. It was also deeply helpless that the First Elder and Master Ning had used them as bait. After all, the First Elder's incident wasn't intentional by them, but this time, was it intentional? Qiu was a little confused. Which family is it this time? Hearing Qiu's words, Leng Ruoxue didn't need to guess to understand. However, to be able to make Master Ning so angry, could it be? It couldn't be such a coincidence, right? Little girl, it's what you're thinking. The great elder said with a smirk. He wanted to laugh whenever he thought about this. Leng Ruoxue was speechless. It did not feel good to cast a net and catch one of her own. It was no wonder the master of the Ning family was so angry. At this moment, the butler of the courtyard came to report. Miss Leng, Master Ning is here, the housekeeper said. The Master Ning he was referring to was the master of the Ning family on the divine mainland. You should ask the person he wants to see. I can't make the decision. Leng Ruoxue and First Elder exchanged glances and spoke calmly. That Master Ning definitely wouldn't come to see her, so she didn't dare to make the decision to let him in. What's more, the old man Ning was in a fit of anger at this time, and she didn't want to touch that bad luck. However, before the housekeeper could ask, Master Ning's angry voice came from the room. Tell him to get as far away as he can. I don't want to see him. Chapter 11:14. Meeting but not knowing each other. 1. The butler was caught in a dilemma when he heard the words coming from the room. Just as he was in a dilemma, Leng Ruoxue came to his rescue. Let's tell Master Ning on the godly mainland. Leng Ruoxue laughed lightly. Although they were both masters of the Ning family, their power and status were worlds apart. She didn't understand why the butler was hesitating. Yes. The butler heaved a sigh of relief. Although he was the butler of the Qi family, no matter which Master Ning he was not someone a small figure like him could afford to offend. So, he had to be careful. After the butler left, Leng Ruoxue looked at the First Elder and chuckled. Aren't you going to comfort your old friend? Tisk, why should I comfort him? Don't worry about him. He'll be fine after he's vented enough. The great elder said disapprovingly. After he finished speaking, he carried little Qiu and casually found a place to sit down. The master of the Ning family in the godly mainland was extremely depressed after being rejected by his ancestor. He resentfully returned to the guest room in the Qi family's main residence and locked himself in his room. Qi Rui, who had accompanied him, was full of doubts, but he could not say much in front of Master Ning. After watching Master Ning enter the room, he went to find his grandfather. In the study room, Qi Yuan sat behind the desk and looked at Qi Rui thoughtfully. You said that Master Ning didn't see his family's old ancestor? After a long while, Qi Yuan finally opened his mouth and asked. No. The steward said that the patriarch of the Ning family asked Master Ning to get lost as far as possible. Qi Rui suppressed his laughter and chuckled. The housekeeper of the courtyard was really honest. He dared to say this kind of thing in front of Master Ning. Was he not afraid of Master Ning's revenge? As far as he knew, the current master of the Ning family on the divine mainland wasn't a magnanimous person. What's going on? Qi Yuan asked curiously. If it was before today, he definitely wouldn't be this curious. After all, their Qi family had been troubled a few days ago, and they were badly battered by the Great Elder. However, now that the Great Elder's matter had finally come to an end, he finally had the time to watch the other families' excitement. Almost all the people from the big families were like this. When their own family was in trouble, they naturally didn't want to see other families in trouble. If someone else was also in trouble at this time, they would feel more balanced in their hearts. This was exactly what Qi Yuan was thinking now. I don't know, do you want me to go and find out? Qi Rui was also quite curious about this. At that moment, The butler came to report that Miss Ning had been beaten up on the street. Continue reading on MIB0XN0VL. Calm after the grandfather and grandson heard the news, they looked at each other and went to the Ning family's temporary courtyard together, and came to see the fun in the name of visiting. In the guest room, Ning Rong Heir's beautiful eyes were filled with tears as she cried to her grandfather master about how she had been bullied. "Grandpa, you have to help me. Those two bad guys actually dared to bully our Ning family. They really don't put our Ning family in their eyes." Ning Rong said viciously. "Rong, what did those two look like? Are there any special characteristics?" The head of the Ning family, Ning Hong, couldn't help but ask. This Rong had come back and said that she had been bullied and that her guards had been killed. However, she didn't give a clear explanation and even wanted him to avenge her. She didn't even know who the enemy was. Who could he find to avenge her? Is Miss Ning being bullied? When Chi Yuan and Chi Rui walked into the guest room, they happened to hear Ning Rong talking about revenge. "Yes, Grandpa Chi, you have to help me. I was bullied in your Chi city," Ning Rong quickly said. When Chi Yuan heard Ning Rong Heir's words, he was a little displeased. He thought to himself, who doesn't know eldest Miss Ning's temper? It was already good enough that Ning Rong didn't bully others. Who would dare to bully her? However, looking at Ning Rong Heir's pitiful appearance, it seemed like she had really been bullied. When he thought of this, he couldn't help but be curious about the person who dared to bully Ning Rong, and the fire of gossip started to burn. Putting aside his displeasure towards Ning Rong for the time being, Chi Yuan asked with slight concern, "Rong, you have so many guards by your side, and there's still someone who dares to bully you? Who is so bold?" "I don't know either, but my guards were all killed by them. I only scared them away because I took out the Ning family's token." Ning Rong still had lingering fear in her heart. "Oh, what did that person look like?" Chi Yuan asked again. "It's not one person but two. They looked like humans and dogs. I can't remember them, but I do remember the appearance of the two little beasts." At that time, Ning Rong Heir's mind was completely focused on the two little beasts, so she didn't pay attention to the first elder and Master Ning's appearance at all. Therefore, now that someone asked, she naturally could only say that she didn't know. "Little beastie?" When Chi Yuan heard these two words, he immediately became alert. Now, as long as someone mentioned a little beast to him, he would reflexively think of the two that the great elder had with him. If it wasn't for those two little beasts, the Chi family wouldn't have to spend so much money. "What kind of little beast?" Chi Rui was shocked and couldn't help but ask. "Two very cute little beasts, one black and one yellow. I originally bought the two little beasts for 2 low-grade crystals, but those 2 old farts took the money and refused to give me the little beasts. They even killed my subordinates. Woo! Grandpa Chi, you have to avenge me," Ning Rong said through gritted teeth. "We need to plan our revenge carefully. After all, you don't even know what their parents look like. They might have left Chi City long ago." Chi Yuan comforted him speechlessly, then looked at Ning Hong with a little sympathy. He couldn't help but gloat in his heart. As soon as Ning Rong described the 2 little beasts, he had already guessed who had killed Ning Rong Heir's guards. It was going to be a lively scene. And Brother Chi is right. Rong, think carefully, what did those 2 look like? Ning Hong felt that Chi Yuan's words made sense and asked. "I really can't remember. However, if I see those 2 little beasts again, I'll definitely recognize them," Ning Rong promised. Chapter 11:15, Meeting but not knowing each other. 2. Since that's the case, Rong, you have a good rest. We'll go back first. After understanding the truth, Chi Yuan and Chi Rui decided to take their leave. At the same time, the 2 of them sighed in unison. "When you see those 2 little beasts, I'm afraid your death will be near." Because the 2 people who killed the Ning family's guards, other than the head elder of the Craftsmen's Guild and the Ning family's old ancestor, there would be no other candidates. On the way back to the main courtyard, Chi Yuan and Chi Rui did not say a word. However, after returning to the study room, the 2 of them could not help but laugh wildly, causing Chi Tong, who had come to look for them, to be baffled. Family head is there anything fun? Why are you guys laughing so happily? Chi Tong's face was filled with question marks. Recently, the entire Chi city had been in a state of panic because of the existence of the great elder of the Craftsmen's Guild and the Ning family's old ancestor. Many people were afraid that they would accidentally offend those people, so they lived in fear every day. In fact, he really wanted to say that the great elder and the Ning family's old ancestor were not that scary. Unfortunately, no one would believe his words. It can't be considered anything fun. Chi Yuan laughed as he waved his hand. Then he simply explained the entire situation to Chi Tong, causing Chi Tong to be dumbstruck. This is too much of a coincidence. Chi Yi was speechless. This time, the Ning family had bumped into their own old ancestor's hands. He was afraid that there would be a great earthquake in the Ning family. It's that Ning Rong heir's bad luck. She didn't know how to behave when she came to Chi City. She really thinks this is her own territory. Chi Yuan said without any sympathy. What do we do now? Chi Tong could not help but ask. I don't know. Let's just wait and see. Anyway, it doesn't have much to do with us. However, First Elder, you must warn the elders to strictly restrain their subordinates. Otherwise, don't blame me for being merciless. Chi Yuan thought for a while and said, Don't worry, I've already told them this. Chi Tong hurriedly said, Because the three of them who knew the truth pretended to be deaf, the people of the Ning family didn't know that they had fallen into danger because of Ning Rong, heir's pampering and domineering behavior. After hearing that Ning Rong-o was injured and the Ning family's guards were killed, each of the Ning family's people was filled with righteous indignation and began to search for the great elder and their own ancestor on the streets in anger. At this moment, the Qi family courtyard was peaceful. Leng Ruoxue and the others, who were living in seclusion, did not pay attention to the situation in Qi City. Instead, it was Qi Rue who revealed the situation to them. In the garden, Leng Ruoxue looked at Qi Rui thoughtfully, a faint smile on her beautiful face. Miss Leng, please don't look at me like that. I'm scared. Qi Rui said nervously. Leng Ruoxue's gaze made him feel very apologetic. What are you afraid of? Did you do anything to let me down? Leng Ruoxue laughed evilly and thought to herself, this Qi family is really bad. They actually feign ignorance, watching the Ning family search for a needle in a haystack in the city like fools while I watch the fun from the side. However, this matter has nothing to do with me, so I'm happy to be a bystander. Continue reading on IB0XN0VL. Has Master Ning not come out of his room yet? Although Qi Rui was a little embarrassed, he still could not help but ask. No, he has been locking himself in his room since he came back from the street yesterday. I don't know what he is doing. Leng Ruoxue said with a smile. Did he have any reaction? Qi Rui asked nosily. I'm very angry. I don't know who's going to be unlucky again. Leng Ruoxue said, gloating. After finding out that the woman who had annoyed Master Ning yesterday was Ning Rong, she couldn't help but sigh. The world was really small. However, if Master Ning could help them deal with Ning Rong, it would save her a lot of trouble. Because that Ning Rong was the young lady of the Ning family that she had once stolen the token from. Qi family brat, where are the unfilial descendants of the Ning family now? Just as Leng Ruoxue and Qi Rui were chatting, Master Ning's voice suddenly reached their ears. However, the old man didn't show himself, obviously still in a fit of anger. They are temporarily staying in the guest room of the Qi family's main residence. Qi Rui quickly replied respectfully. Oh, I'm going to give you a mission. Master Ning said. Please speak, Master Ning. Qi Rui said. Chase them away. Master Ning said angrily. Master Ning, this isn't very good. Although Qi Rui really wanted to take on this task, he was not willing to be used by the Ning family's ancestor. After all, in his opinion, this was an internal matter of the Ning family. If the Qi family got involved, what if the Ning family retaliated after this? The Ning family was the #1 family in the divine world after the divine master. They were not people the Qi family could provoke. What's wrong with that? Just do what I tell you to do. Master Ning shouted. Master Ning, you're the old ancestor, but you didn't show up. You asked young Master Qi to drive people away for you. You're obviously trying to make young Master Qi offend people. Leng Ruoxue chuckled. This was exactly what Qi Rui wanted to say, but he didn't have the guts to say it. Little girl, are you blaming me? Master Ning was a little unhappy. He had never thought that his decision would be questioned by a junior, which put him in an awkward position. I don't think so. I just feel that it's inappropriate for you to let young Master Qi do this. Why don't you and the great elder go there personally? Leng Ruoxue suggested and thought to herself, I wonder if the Ning family would recognize me, their old ancestor. I'm looking forward to it. Little girl, don't think that I don't know what you're up to. It's no big deal for me to make a trip personally. Master Ning said nonchalantly. Actually, he did not want to go, but he could not stand Leng Ruoxue's provocation. He could not be looked down upon by a little girl. Then you can personally drive them away. Young Master Qi, you must always stay by Master Ning's side. Leng Ruoxue reminded him with an evil smile. This was a good opportunity to watch a good show. Although she also wanted to go, she still had to leave some face for this Master Ning. Moreover, even if she couldn't see it in person, she could guess what would happen there, and the great elder would tell them in detail. Qi family brat, take me to those unfilial descendants. As soon as Master Ning finished speaking, the door of the room was also slammed. He opened it, and the master of the Ning family appeared in front of everyone, still angry. Chapter 11:16. Meeting but not knowing each other. 3. Leng Ruoxue looked at Master Ning's expression and laughed to herself. It was said that the higher one's cultivation, the calmer one would be. Why was this old man becoming more and more popular? Miss Leng, then I'll take Master Ning there. Although he didn't want to go, he couldn't let Leng Ruoxue's painstaking efforts go to waste. After all, Leng Ruoxue had spoken up for him just now. It was just that he didn't know if their Qi family would be implicated after watching this show. So, don't even try to guess the thoughts of important people. Kid from the Qi family, don't forget about me. Seeing the two of them preparing to leave, the ignored first elder hurriedly said, What are you doing, you old thing? Master Ning's eyes were wide open, and he said unhappily, I'm also a party involved. You can't leave me behind. The great elder said matter-of-factly, but anyone could tell that he wanted to watch the show. If you want to go, go. However, you're not allowed to speak. Master Ning thought for a while and said, Yes, I won't say anything. The great elder quickly promised. At the same time, he added in his heart, I'll just watch the show. With the first elder's assurance, Master Ning ordered Qi Rui to take the two of them to the Qi family's main residence. The moment they arrived at the Qi family's main residence, Qi Yuan and Qi Tong, who had received the news, immediately came over to greet them. After the great elder explained the purpose of his visit to the two of them, he repeatedly told them not to speak for a while and only allowed Master Ning to speak. Then, he had them take him to the guest room of the Qi family. Outside the courtyard of the Qi family's guest room, the great elder winked at the three people of the Qi family, and the four of them walked behind Master Ning tacitly. Now, it was clear that they were escorting Master Ning to ask for forgiveness, but Master Ning naturally didn't think of this in his anger. Master Ning strode straight into the courtyard, but as soon as he showed his head, he was discovered by Ning Rong, who was resting in the courtyard. Instantly, Ning Rong, shouted, He's the one who killed our Ning family. Men quickly capture him. In fact, she didn't really recognize Master Ning, but she recognized the little black beast in Master Ning's arms at a glance. She had been drooling over the little beast for a long time. After hearing Ning Rong's shout, the people of the Ning family in the room and courtyard all rushed over and surrounded Master Ning. Continue reading on MIB0XN0VL. Calm, and that old man. Ning Rong saw First Elder and Qiuqiu in his arms again, and quickly said, Mph. She didn't expect Grandpa Qi to catch these two people so quickly. This was great. She couldn't help but feel a little proud. Now, those two adorable little beasts couldn't escape from her palm. When Qi Yuan, Qi Tong, and Qi Rui heard Ning Rong heir's words, none of them spoke, because the first elder had told them not to speak. However, his intention to watch a good show was revealed. This time, Ning Rong was going to be unlucky. At this moment, Ning Hong, who had heard the commotion, also walked out of his room. After seeing the situation in the courtyard, he asked calmly, "Rong, what's going on?" "Grandfather, you've come at the right time. These two are the ones who killed our Ning family's guards. Quickly capture them and don't let them go." Ning Rong quickly urged. "Are you sure?" Ning Hong's shrewd eyes swept between the great elder and Master Ning. They looked extraordinary and didn't seem to be unreasonable people. How could he have taken his granddaughter's money and killed someone? When he thought of this, a trace of doubt appeared in his heart. "May I ask why the two of you took my granddaughter's money and killed our Ning family's guards? If the two of you can't give me a reasonable explanation, don't blame our Ning family for being ruthless." Ning Hong said politely. "She said we took her money?" Master Ning squinted his eyes and asked indifferently. "You've already taken my money. Hurry up and give me my beastie. Otherwise, you'll be dead." Ning Rong shouted. "May I ask how much we charged you?" Master Ning laughed instead of getting angry. "He took 2 of my low-grade jingsher." Ning Rong said righteously, because she had indeed given it to them even though they didn't want it. "You want to buy our beastie for 2 low-grade crystal stones? Do you think we're beggars that you can just give us some money?" Master Ning was speechless. How could the Ning family have such a descendant? He really wanted to strangle such an unfilial descendant. "How many more do you want? It's already good enough that the eldest daughter of the Ning family is willing to give you some money for your things." Ning Rong said with a smug look. The meaning of her words was that the things that she wanted from them should be given to her on their own accord. "Miss Ning is so overbearing. I've gained some insight today." Master Ning said with a smile. "You've killed our Ning family, so don't even think about leaving here alive today. However, if you take the initiative to hand over these 2 little beasts and compensate me for my losses, maybe I'll let you die a little faster when I'm in a good mood." Ning Rong boasted shamelessly. After hearing her words, Qi Yuan, Qi Tong, and Qi Rui broke out in cold sweat. This Miss Ning Rong was really too awesome. However, if she knew that the person standing in front of them was their old ancestor, and that the person she wanted to kill was also their old ancestor, who knew how she would react? Thinking of this, the 3 of them couldn't help but look forward to it. Similarly, the great elder was also looking forward to it. At this moment he was secretly happy. Old man Ning's descendant's words were truly shocking. However, this descendant of the Ning family actually couldn't even recognize his own ancestor. He was indeed a weirdo. He was afraid that the Ning family would not be able to recover in a while. He knew the old man of the Ning family too well. If he was really angry, it meant that the matter was not too big. However, once he smiled, it indicated that the matter was irreversible. If it was said that old man Ning was angry at his own descendant for being so disappointing and falling into his hands, then he was completely disappointed in this descendant now. "What if I don't want to hand these 2 little beasts over to you, and I don't want to compensate you for any losses?" Master Ning asked curiously. If he did as Ning Rong said, he would die a little faster. What if he didn't? He really wanted to know how he would die. Chapter 11:17. Meeting but not knowing each other. 4. Then it'll definitely make you wish you were dead. Why you still standing there? Hurry up and capture these 2. Ning Rong ordered the Ning family. However, none of the Ning family members in the courtyard made a move. Instead, they all looked at Ning Hong. "Rong, you're not allowed to be unreasonable," Ning Hong said loudly. This granddaughter of his had been spoiled. She was getting more and more overbearing. He was still here, and she dared to make decisions. Moreover, his granddaughter's poor judgment didn't mean that he didn't have the same judgment. The innate superior temperament of these 2 people was too obvious, so Ning Hong absolutely didn't dare to act rashly before he figured out their identities. After all, in the divine realm, The Ning family was still unable to cover the sky with one hand. Grandfather, it's obvious that they deserve to die. How can you shout at me? Ning Rong said, feeling wronged. You shut up. Ning Hong roared. The most important thing now was to figure out the identity of these two people. If they didn't have any backing, then killing them would be fine. You too, please give me an explanation. Ning Hong looked at Master Ning and said, There's nothing to explain. The Ning family's guards were indeed killed by me. However, I didn't take any low-grade jingsher. Master Ning's tone was cold. Grandpa, I'm not lying, am I? He admitted it himself. Ning Rong said happily when she saw that the other party had confessed. Since you admit that you killed someone from the Ning family, I can only apologize to you. However, the Ning family doesn't kill nameless people. Please state your name. Ning Hong said after the other party admitted it. However, he still had to figure out the other party's identity. Do you really want to know my name? Master Ning raised his eyes and asked calmly. Of course, not everyone has the right to die at the hands of our Ning family. Ning Hong said rather self-deprecatingly. However, no one has called me by my name for a long time. My descendants all call me Master or Ancestor, while my old friends call me Old Man Ning. Master Ning said casually. Old Man Ning? Your surname is also Ning? Ning Hong was stunned and asked dumbly. My surname is also Ning. Do you think we're a family? Master Ning said with a faint smile. Continue reading on MIB0XN0VL. Calm Ning Hong's heart couldn't help but skip a beat when he heard this. A bad feeling instantly welled up in his heart. This person's surname was also Ning, and he appeared in Qi City again. He can't be the Ning family's old ancestor, right? At the thought of this possibility, Ning Hong broke out in a cold sweat, and his legs began to tremble. No, it couldn't be such a coincidence. Who are you? Ning Hong asked, suppressing his fear. Ning Hong, you don't even recognize me? Master Ning glared at him and asked. Old ancestor. Ning Meng's legs gave way and she knelt on the ground. It really was the ancestor. What should I do? This time they were dead for sure. Although he did find the old ancestor familiar, he had never thought in that direction. Ning Hong, how dare you? You even want to kill me? Master Ning's powerful aura was exposed. Under the pressure, the people of the Ning family present couldn't bear it. They knelt on the ground collectively, their bodies trembling. Grandpa, who is he? Ning Rong Heir's face was filled with disbelief. Why did they all kneel down? Although she was also kneeling, she was still a little confused. Shut up. Hurry up and beg for forgiveness from the ancestor. Ning Hong roared angrily. He finally understood why the Qi family's old ancestor had told him to get lost when he had gone to the Qi family's courtyard to ask for an audience. It was all because of Ning Rong. Thinking of this, he didn't even think about it. A slap landed on Ning Rong Heir's face. In an instant, half of her face swelled up. Grandpa, you actually hit me? Ning Rong couldn't accept this fact. She was also suspicious of the identity of the person in front of her. After all, she was born on the divine mainland and had never seen the old ancestor. Now that her grandfather had hit her because of someone she suspected to be the old ancestor, she naturally felt indignant. Quickly apologized to the ancestor. Otherwise, well, punish you. Ning Hong glared at her and shouted. Although Ning Rong was his most beloved granddaughter, the person she had offended was the Ning family's supreme ancestor. She had also caused his entire family to be in a difficult situation. How could he care about whether Ning Rong was wronged or not? Now he was filled with regret. Why did he bring Ning Rong to Qi City? If he didn't bring her here, wouldn't this matter not have happened? Grandfather, are you sure he's really our Ning family's ancestor? Ning Rong made up her mind and was ready to go all out. Impudent, is there anyone else who would dare to impersonate our Ning family's old ancestor? Ning Hong was so angry. Towards Ning Rong Heir's disregard for the big picture, he was extremely disgusted and didn't value her that much anymore. That might not be the case. Ning Rong said, unwilling to give up. Haha. First elder laughed joyfully, but he still didn't say anything. Damn old man, what are you laughing at? Don't you want to live? Ning Rong could hear the great elder's mockery and shouted in displeasure. I say, old Ning, even if you don't let me speak, I still have to say it. Your Ning family's upbringing is so good that I have nothing to say. A junior not only shouted at me, but also said that I don't want to live anymore. AI. My fragile little heart is injured again. You have to compensate me for my loss. The grand elder said with a heartbroken expression. You can do whatever you want with this thing. Master Ning pointed at Ning Rong and said, I don't want this thing. If I kill her, I'll dirty my hands. If I don't kill her, it'll be wasting food to feed her, so you better compensate me. I like compensation. The first elder said with a smile. Other than her, there's no other compensation. The master of the Ning family roared miserably. Damn it, he was already angry enough, and this stinky old man actually came to ask for help. Did he think that he was not angry enough? I said I don't want her. First elder warned. Whether you want her or not, from now on, she's yours. You can do whatever you want with her. In the future, this person's matters have nothing to do with the Ning family. Master Ning opened his mouth wide and decided Ning Rong heir's future fate. Chapter 11:18. Meeting but not knowing each other. 5. Old man Ning, you're not being honest. You actually threw this trash at me. The great elder was extremely dissatisfied. Ning Hong, in the future, Ning Rong, will no longer be a member of the Ning family. As for all of you, before I think of how to deal with you, all of you better face the wall and reflect on your past. Master Ning said viciously. What he meant by facing the wall to reflect on his mistakes was that he would temporarily imprison them and wait for their punishment. Chi family brat, cooperate with me. Lock them up in the prison first. Master Ning said to Chi Yuan. Yes. Yes. Chi Yuan replied respectfully. In fact, he had no choice but to agree. The Ning family's old ancestor was currently in a fit of anger. Who knew if it would implicate their Chi family? Immediately after, Chi Yuan ordered his subordinates to lock Ning Hong and the rest in the cell of the Chi family's main residence. However, he was a little troubled as to how to deal with Ning Rong. Why are you looking at me? Lock this woman in as well. Sensing Chi Yuan's probing gaze, first elder hurriedly said. Yes. Chi Yuan replied. Before Ning Rong was dragged away by the Chi family's guards, she kept shouting, You can't do this to me. I'm the eldest daughter of the Ning family. Damn old man, I won't let you off. You still call us old men? I say, old man Ning. It seems that the young lady of the Ning family doesn't believe your identity. Hearing Ning Rong heir's gradually fading voice, the first elder laughed and teased. She's not the eldest daughter of the Ning family. She's yours now. Master Ning reminded. I don't want it. Young man from the Chi family, I'll give that woman to you. First elder quickly said. Grand elder, I don't have a place to put her. Chi Yuan was very reserved, speaking on behalf of the Chi family's kid that first elder was talking about. Then kill her. First elder suggested. Grand elder, she's from the Ning family after all. I don't dare to make a move. What a joke. Chi Yuan was so scared that he quickly said. Although the Ning family's old ancestor said that they could deal with Ning Rong, as they wished, the Ning family's blood still flowed in her body. If they really dealt with her, what would they do if the Ning family came to settle the score later? Old man Ning, did you see that? You're making things very difficult for us. You should deal with this Ning Rong yourself. I won't ask you for compensation, but this should be fine, right? The great elder admitted defeat, but he couldn't help but secretly complain in his heart. I won't take it from you now, but I'll keep an account for you. The next time you need my help, I'll take it back. Continue reading on MIB0XN0VL. Calm, you really don't want it? You're the one who didn't want it, so don't blame me. Master Ning said proudly. Yes. The great elder nodded his head indifferently. After temporarily imprisoning Ning Hong and the others, Master Ning and the first elder returned to the Qi family's courtyard. When they arrived at the courtyard, Master Ning went into the room again. First elder then described the situation vividly to Leng Ruoxue and the rest. Then what will happen to Ning Rong? Feng De asked curiously. I don't know. It depends on that old thing's mood. Maybe he'll be killed, maybe he'll find someone else. Anyway, he won't have a good ending. The first elder thought for a while and said, for the daughters of great clans, unless they had extremely high aptitude, they could only become a tool for marriage between clans. For someone like Ning Rong, who had made a mistake, it was impossible for her to marry into any of the 8 great divine regions. Just randomly assign someone? Feng De mumbled as if he was deep in thought. What's wrong? What rotten idea do you have this time? The great elder looked at Feng De's expression and asked quickly, looking very interested. Don't tell me you want her to marry an ape? That idiot can't control this Miss Ning and might cause us more trouble in the future, so it's best to kill her to save us trouble. Leng Ruoxue said. Yes, let's just kill him. After Feng De heard Leng Ruoxue's words, he quickly agreed. Little girl, what ape? You want her to marry a beast? That's a good idea. The first elder said with an evil smile. Great elder, can you not have such a rich imagination? This is not in line with your otherworldly image. Mind your image. Leng Ruoxue reminded him with an evil smile. Little girl, did I misunderstand? Then tell me, where did this ape come from? The great elder asked shamelessly, his will extremely firm. I came from the forest. Leng Ruoxue tried to play dumb. It was better for first elder to not know about this. Oh. First elder knew that Leng Ruoxue was just brushing him off, but he still nodded his head. He would find out sooner or later anyway, so he was not in a hurry. After returning to his room, Master Ning had been thinking about how to deal with Ning Hong and the others. In fact, among those people, except for Ning Rong, the others didn't commit serious crimes. They just didn't recognize him. Ning Rong heir's subordinates had almost all been killed by him. However, in his opinion, Ning Rong had dared to bypass him and order the people of the Ning family while Master was still present, which made him very dissatisfied with Ning Hong. In the main family, even the daughter he doted on the most was not allowed to interrupt him when he was speaking, let alone do such a thing that overstepped her boundaries. One had to know that Ning Rong heir's behavior was definitely a taboo for someone in a high position like him, and it was also something he could not tolerate. However, he still decided to go to the Ning family to take a look first, then deal with Ning Hong and the others. As for Ning Rong, he had already sentenced her to death in his heart. After making his decision, he went to look for Leng Ruoxue and asked if she was interested in going to the Ning family's divine realm with him. Leng Ruoxue naturally agreed without thinking. This trip to the Ning family's divine territory was equivalent to a private visit. Therefore, they didn't bring Ning Hong and the others with them, but continued to stay in the Qi family's prison. When he heard that Leng Ruoxue and the rest were leaving, Qi Yuan was elated. However, when he was told that the other party would return, his jubilant mood took a sharp turn and he could no longer be excited. Looking at Qi Yuan and the rest forcing a smile as they sent them out of the city, Leng Ruoxue was already laughing in her heart. After leaving Qi City for 5 days, Leng Ruoxue and the rest arrived at the Ning family's divine territory. The Ning family's god domain was indeed the leader of the 8 great god domains. Even on the divine mainland, the area of the Ning family's god domain was the largest, and the number of cities was the most. The main city of the Ning family's divine territory was also named after a family name. After entering the Ning family's divine territory, Leng Ruoxue and the rest had to pass through 3 cities before they could reach Ning City. Leng Ruoxue and the rest casually walked around the 3 cities they passed by, then headed straight for Peace City. Ning City was located in the center of the Ning family's divine territory. It was vast, had beautiful scenery, and was filled with spiritual qi. The population of Ning City was the largest in the entire Ning family's divine territory. Looking at the bustling streets, Leng Ruoxue and the others also took their time to look around. Peace City was bustling with activity. Shops were set up on both sides of the streets, selling a wide variety of items. Leng Ruoxue and the rest bought quite a number of items as they walked. Little girl, the inn in front of us is the best in Ning City. Let's stay there. Master Ning pointed at a tall building not far away and suggested. That inn belonged to the Ning family, and since they were in Ning City, they naturally had to stay in their own inn. Do you take money? Leng Ruoxue asked with a smile. Of course I'll accept it. Master Ning was stunned, but he still answered honestly. He didn't want to expose his identity, so he had to pay for the hotel. There are so many of us. If we stay in the best inn, I'm afraid it'll cost a lot of money. I can't afford it. How about you go and stay by yourself, and it'll take them to find a cheaper inn to stay. Leng Ruoxue asked for Master Ning's opinion. You don't need to spend a single cent, I'll treat you, right? Master Ning said speechlessly. This little girl was really good at scheming. Every day, she ate their food and kept his tab. Now, she was actually poor with him. However, he quite admired Leng Ruoxue's way of being stingy. Sometimes, he even wondered why this girl was not a member of the Ning family. You should be the one treating. Don't forget, we're here to accompany you. The great elder said with a "you're very understanding" expression. I'm sorry for the expense, Master Ning. Leng Ruoxue laughed evilly. Actually, she had been waiting for Master Ning to say this. Chapter 11:19. There's no need to save them. 1. I should. Master Ning said helplessly. Leng Ruoxue and the rest followed Master Ning into the inn. This inn was called Ning Zilai, and it should be a chain of inns. It was worthy of being the largest and best inn in Ning City. The interior of the inn was very exquisite and tasteful, and the waiters were very enthusiastic. When they saw them walking into the inn, they quickly came up to greet them. Do you guys want to stay or eat? The waiter asked politely. I want both. Master Ning said indifferently. Then, please follow me to check in. The waiter led Leng Ruoxue and the others to the front desk and swiftly helped them with the check-in procedures. Then, he brought them to their rooms on the 3rd floor. Before he left, he informed them that the restaurant was on the 2nd floor. As they were guests of the restaurant, they could enjoy free food and drinks. As Leng Ruoxue and her group had a large number of people, most of the rooms on the 3rd floor had been reserved by them. The inn was divided into 5 floors. The 1st floor was the main hall with many chairs in it, specially for the guests who had just arrived to rest. The 2nd floor was the dining hall, and from the 3rd floor onwards were the guest rooms. The 3rd floor that they were staying in could only be considered as ordinary guest rooms. The best VIP rooms were set up on the 5th floor, and they were definitely sky-high priced rooms. Those who could afford to stay there were either rich or respectable. After Leng Ruoxue and the rest returned to their rooms to rest for a while, they went to the restaurant on the 2nd floor to have their meal. When they arrived at the dining hall on the 2nd floor, there were not many people eating as it was already past mealtime. After Leng Ruoxue and the rest casually found a table and sat down, the waiter came forward to ask, "Would you like to have a free meal or a single order?" The waiter asked very patiently. The order he was talking about was that the customer had to pay for it. I want it to be free. Before anyone could speak, Master Ning said directly. All right, please wait a moment. The waiter knew very well who was the real cash cow, so he left immediately after hearing Master Ning's words. Master, you're knocking on the door. You didn't even invite me to try this Ning Zilai's signature dish. After the waiter left, Feng De couldn't help but grumble softly. There are so many of you, what if I become poor from all of you? Master Ning said like a miser, his handsome face full of pride. Master, you're a rich man, why are you poor like us? Lin Yuan also said in disbelief. Continue reading on MIB0XN0VL. Calm, who said I'm rich? I'm just the head of your family. Master Ning said with a smirk, secretly pleased with himself. He finally had a chance to hold his head high in front of these people. Otherwise, he would always be bullied by them. However, no one would believe that the master of the Ning family would be bullied by a few little guys. You're just a fake master, what's there to be proud of? The great elder sneered. Before they came, they had discussed not to reveal their identity. They would address Old Man Ning as family master, and he would be called ancestor. Even the imposters have to call me master. Master Ning's face was full of smiles, and it could be seen that he was in a very good mood. Master, your descendant is here. Leng Ruoxue reminded him with an evil smile. Where is it? Master Ning was puzzled. Where were his direct descendants? The ones on the godly mainland were only a side branch, and in his heart, they weren't considered true descendants. Master Ning followed Leng Ruoxue's gaze and saw a young man who looked like him. His appearance and aura were both outstanding as he walked in. The young man came to the table where Leng Ruoxue and the rest were seated and bowed politely. He smiled and said, "Hello, I'm Ning Xiao, the person in charge of this restaurant. I'm sorry, but due to the large number of people here, it might take a little longer to cook. Would you like to serve the dishes first or serve them together?" Although Ning Xiao was asking for their opinion, he also told them the reason why the dishes would be served late, so as not to make the guests wait too long. Leng Ruoxue and the others could not find any fault with his humble attitude. "Let's attack together. We're not too hungry yet." Leng Ruoxue said softly. "All right, please wait a moment." Ning Xiao left after he finished speaking. As soon as they left the restaurant, Ning Xiao met someone he did not want to see. The two of them pestered each other for a while before Ning Xiao dragged the person away. However, Leng Ruoxue and the others had also witnessed the scene. "Old Man Ning, your descendant seems to be in trouble." The first elder reminded with a smile, his eyes full of anticipation for a good show. "Yes." Master Ning nodded imperceptibly. The little commotion between Ning Xiao and the other party just now naturally could not be hidden from him, a reverent god. Just as Leng Ruoxue and the rest were chatting, the dishes that they had been waiting for were served. Leng Ruoxue and the rest tasted it one by one and put down their chopsticks. "Little girl, why are you only eating this much? Although these dishes can't be compared to the ones you make, they're still pretty good compared to the ones in the inn." Master Ning said with a smile. "I'm full." Leng Ruoxue smiled helplessly. After getting used to her own cooking, she basically couldn't eat in restaurants anymore. She was only willing to eat a little because she was giving Master Ning face. However, even though the ingredients for this free meal weren't very particular, it was indeed much better than the food made in other hotels. I'm full too. By the way, do you have any plans?" Master Ning asked curiously. "We're going back to our room to sleep. What about you?" Leng Ruoxue asked with a smile. "I want to take a walk on the streets." Master Ning thought for a while and said, "Then you go. We'll go back to our room first." After Leng Ruoxue finished speaking, she stood up and led everyone out of the dining hall. Looking at their backs, Master Ning couldn't help but talk to himself. "Why are you sleeping right after eating? I'm happy to, what can you do about it?" The great elder rolled his eyes at Master Ning and stood up, ready to leave. "Where are you going?" Master Ning quickly asked and pulled the great elder back. Chapter 11:20, There's no need to save them. 2. I'm going back to my room to sleep too. The first elder laughed. "You damned old man, why are you sleeping? You're not allowed to sleep, you're already a divine emperor. Why are you still sleeping? Accompany me to the streets." Master Ning said domineeringly, and then he pulled the extremely reluctant first elder to go to the street. However, this time, Bao Bao and Chiu Chiu weren't by their side. The next morning, when Leng Ruoxue and the rest left the room, they suddenly realized that two people were missing. Master Ning and first elder were missing. "Miss, we've searched the room. There's no one." Feng De, who went to the room to look for the two, said, "How can there be no one? Could it be that the two old men didn't come back last night?" Thinking of this possibility, Leng Ruoxue sent someone to call for a waiter. After asking, she found out that the two old men from yesterday had indeed not returned. Did something happen to the two old men again? Leng Ruoxue thought to herself, they didn't bring Baby and Chiu Chiu with them to the streets this time, so there shouldn't be anyone who's blind enough to want to snatch their things, right? "Miss, I'll take my brothers to the streets to look for it." Feng De couldn't help but say when he saw his Miss' thoughtful expression. Okay, be careful. After all, we've just arrived in Peace City and are not familiar with everything here. Leng Ruoxue warned. Alright, don't worry, miss. Feng De promised. Then he brought Lin Yuan and the others to the street to look for her. However, after searching for almost a day, he still couldn't find the two old men. Miss, we've almost searched the entire Ning City, but we didn't find any trace of the two old men. In the living room, Feng De said helplessly. Where haven't we? Leng Ruoxue asked directly. We can't enter either the Ning family or the prison. Feng De quickly said. Continue reading on MIB0XN0VL. If I'm not wrong, those two old men should be locked up in the prison. Leng Ruoxue sighed helplessly. This time, even without Qiu and Bao Bao by their side, they were still able to get into trouble. She really admired them. It can't be. Feng De wiped the cold sweat from his forehead and was speechless. Last time in Qi City, Qi Rui was there, so they were not worried even if the first elder was put in prison. But this time, it was different. They didn't know anyone in Ning City, so it would not be easy to see the first elder and Master Ning. Feng De, go and invite Ning Xiao over. Leng Ruoxue said after some thought. Yes. Feng De received the order and turned to leave. Not long after, Ning Xiao was invited into the room. Is there anything you need from me? Ning Xiao gave a slight bow and went straight to the point. Shopkeeper Ning, we've lost two people. I wonder if you can help us look for them? Leng Ruoxue probed. Disappeared? What does young lady mean? Ning Xiao asked, confused. We suspect that they are now in the prison of Ning City. However, we are unfamiliar with Ning City, so we would like to ask shopkeeper Ning to help us confirm. Leng Ruoxue explained. Right now, she only wanted to confirm the location of the two old men. As for their safety, she wasn't worried at all. Furthermore, she didn't believe that there was anyone on the divine mainland who could hurt a reverent god and a divine emperor. The only possibility was that the two of them, who wanted the world to be in chaos, had willingly been captured. Oh, I can help young Miss ask around, but I can't guarantee that I can save them. Ning Xiao said honestly. Shopkeeper Ning, you just need to help me find out where they are. There's no need to save them. Leng Ruoxue laughed evilly. If those two old men were really in the prison, then they definitely had something to do with the Ning family. Since that was the case, why should she get herself involved in this mess? He would just let the two old men mess things up. All right. In his entire life, this was the first time that Ning Xiao had heard something like, there's no need to save them. After all, a normal person's thought process would be to save them. However, this beautiful lady in front of him had clearly told him that there was no need to save them. This made him a little speechless. At this moment, he had already classified Leng Ruoxue as abnormal. It was a pity to lose such a devastatingly beautiful woman. Ning Xiao couldn't help but secretly feel regretful. However, it was fortunate that Leng Ruoxue did not read Ning Xiao's mind. Otherwise, if she knew what Ning Xiao was thinking, she would be depressed to death. Then, Ning Xiao bade everyone farewell. A day later, Ning Xiao sent news. There were indeed two unfamiliar people locked up in Ning City's prison cell. Furthermore, they had just been locked up for 2 days, and the time coincided with the time when the great elder and Master Ning had disappeared. Miss, I have some friendship with one of the guards in the prison. Do you want me to help you get them out? After Ning Xiao brought the news, he saw that Leng Ruoxue and the rest were silent for a long time, so he could not help but ask. No, thank you for your kindness, Manager Ning. Leng Ruoxue declined. After knowing the exact location of the first elder and Master Ning, Leng Ruoxue and the others acted as if nothing had happened. They did what they were supposed to do. Furthermore, they had locked themselves up for a few days and their meals were sent directly to their rooms. This made Ning Xiao even more curious. At this moment, in Ning City's prison, the two young-looking old men sat on the stone chairs and looked at each other in boredom. Why are you staring at me? Master Ning, who was tired of staring, said in dissatisfaction. If you're not staring at me, how do you know I'm staring at you? The great elder rolled his eyes at Master Ning and said unhappily, Hey, Why isn't anyone taking care of us? That little girl didn't even come and look for us. Master Ning complained. Why are you looking for us? That little girl won't be worried about us. The great elder understood. We're missing? Shouldn't she be looking for it? You're really disloyal. Master Ning's face was full of resentment. This is the Ning family's territory, and you're a reverend god level. If it were me, I wouldn't look for you either. The great elder said matter-of-factly. He was also locked up here because of this old thing. No way. He had to ask for compensation. The food here was terrible. With this in mind, the great elder calmly said, Old man Ning, this is the second time I've been in a prison cell. However, the treatment in your Ning family's prison is far worse than that of the Qi family. When I was locked up by the Qi family, the Qi family's brat even arranged several servants to serve me. Chapter 11:21. There's no need to save them. 3. That's because that brat from the Qi family knows your identity. If he didn't know, he wouldn't care about you. Master Ning quibbled. No matter what, you're definitely going to compensate me for my second time in jail. The great elder ignored Master Ning's words and said with a faint smile. On what basis? I'm in jail too, okay? Who's going to pay for my losses? When Master Ning heard that the great elder was going to slaughter him again, he immediately jumped 3 times and roared. Calm down. You're sitting in your own cell, but I'm not. I'm just an outsider. If your Ning family dares to lock me up, don't think you can stop paying. First Elder's mouth twitched as he said in a matter-of-fact manner. Old man Ning, seeing that we've been friends for so many years, I won't make things difficult for you. Just compensate according to the Yao family's standard. The great elder added. What? You greedy vampire, I was robbed by you not long ago, and now you're here again? Master Ning was so angry that he couldn't help but shout. That's a separate matter, don't mix them up. Even blood brothers have to calculate their accounts clearly. Besides, we're not even related by blood. The great elder said with a smile, implying that the Ning family would definitely bleed this time. But, I'm also locked up in prison now. Who can I go to claim my losses? Master Ning felt wronged. Why was it a descendant of the Ning family who had done this? If he was someone else's junior, how cool would it be to rob him? But now, he was the one being robbed and he was clearly locked up, okay? Go and ask your descendants for it. If you're still angry, you can also deal with the entire Ning family on the godly mainland. I won't stop you. First Elder suggested. And then? Master Ning asked. Then you'll continue to give birth. The first elder said with an evil smile. Suddenly, a chuckle was heard in the cell they were in. Hee hee. Immediately after, a light yellow shadow pounced into the great elder's arms like lightning. Little ball, you still have a conscience. You knew to come and see me. The first elder joyfully hugged the cute little fellow in his arms as he complained. I'm coming too. The baby's voice was also heard. Continue reading on MIB0XN0VL. Hee hee. Good, I'm about to die from depression. The first elder said happily. Grand elder grandfather, it was elder sister who asked us to come and accompany you. Elder sister said that you can live here in peace and not worry about them. Chiu Chiu laughed evilly as it conveyed Leng Ruox's words. That little girl really said that? The great elder was speechless. From what he heard, that girl actually wanted them to stay here forever. Yes, sister said that you guys are too good at causing trouble. It's good to lock you up. Chiu Chiu said very honestly, laughing in its heart. It and its baby had finally been cleared of their crimes. This time, they had nothing to do with it. Little Chiu Chiu, you can't misunderstand me. He's the one who can cause trouble, not me. I'm also a victim, and I was implicated by him. The first elder didn't even think about it and directly betrayed Master Ning. You damned old man, how can you blame me for this? Hearing this, Master Ning immediately widened his eyes and roared. If I don't blame you, who else should I blame? The one who locked us up is your Ning family's descendant, not mine. The great elder shouted back, unwilling to be outdone. Grand Elder Grandpa, what's going on? Chiu asked with a curious look. This old man's descendants ran us over on purpose and demanded compensation from us. We didn't pay, so we were caught and brought in. The great elder explained simply. Oh. Chiu nodded, then looked at Master Ning. Grandpa, are your descendants in need of money? Isn't your Ning family a rich man in the divine realm? Can't you even afford to raise a few descendants? Chiu's face was filled with question marks. Who doesn't have a few pieces of rat shit? Master Ning said helplessly. Speaking of which, he did feel that this matter was quite embarrassing, but he and the first elder had been locked up voluntarily. Otherwise, who could have locked them up? AI. Every family has its own problems. The baby sighed, and his cute appearance immediately amused the elder and Master Ning. Hee, you're such a clown. No wonder you dote on them so much. Master Ning said happily. At their level, ordinary flattery would have no effect at all. On the contrary, this kind of simple and lovely little guy could make them feel good. Of course, the first elder had a proud look on his face. Look at how beautiful you are. Master Ning's eyes were burning with jealousy. Little one, does Shui have any other instructions? Master Ning asked again. No, but when do you plan to expose your identity, Grandpa? Little Chiu couldn't help but ask. They had been in the prison for a few days, but the guy who had locked them up here had no reaction. They didn't know when he would remember these two people. He wanted to expose himself, but no one from the Ning family came these days, so his identity is useless. The great elder laughed evilly. Originally, Old Man Ning had planned to wait for that unfilial descendant to come and see what tricks he was up to. Then he would reveal his identity unexpectedly. However, he did not expect that after they were locked up, they did not show their faces at all. Therefore, this Old Man Ning had been depressed for a few days. Then what should we do? We can't just stay here forever. Little Chiu furrowed its brows, deep in thought. I have an idea. The baby said. What do you have in mind? Master Ning asked curiously. If they don't come, we can take the initiative to visit them. However, we don't have any status, so I'm afraid the Ning family won't welcome us. The baby said with a troubled expression. This is easy. Let this old man lend you the Ning family's token, then you can do whatever you want with it. The first elder said in a very cooperative manner. Wouldn't that expose my identity too early? Master Ning hesitated. The owner of the token is Big Sister, who would notice you. However, this way Big Sister and the others can't call you Master anymore. Bao reminded. Chapter 11:22. There's no need to save them, for, give this to the little girl and let her play with it. However, don't kill the Ning family. Master Ning took out a black and gold token from his ring. The token was only the size of a palm, and it was carved with an exquisite totem of a black phoenix spreading its wings. The first elder looked at the sign and narrowed his eyes. Then he looked at Master Ning deeply, but he didn't say anything. First elder Grandpa, well, first send this token to Big Sister, then come back to accompany you. Chiu said happily. Then, the two little fellows skipped out of the cell. After the two little things left, the great elder looked at Master Ning and asked with a little confusion, What do you want to do? The token just now represented a completely different meaning from the Ning family's ordinary identity token, because that token was the symbol of Old Man Ning's identity. There was only one in the entire divine world, and those who saw the token were like seeing Old Man Ning himself. The Ning family could not recognize Old Man Ning as their ancestor, but they would definitely not recognize that token that could summon the wind and summon the rain in the Ning family. Nothing. Didn't you ask me to lend the token to the little girl? Master Ning said innocently. I didn't ask you to lend me this. If someone in the Ning family finds out that this token is in the hands of this little girl, you will bring her trouble. The first elder grumbled. Although the Ning family had chosen the young master, not everyone would believe in Ning Haolan's identity. If someone with ill intentions found out where the medallion was and used it, the little girl would be in deep trouble. But I only have this on me. You can't possibly think that I have many Ning family identity tokens on me, right? Master Ning said innocently. You didn't bring one, can't you make one on the spot? Why did you have to give her this piece? The first elder said somewhat angrily. The Ning family's identity tokens were all from Old Man Ning's hands. Moreover, it was added with his divine power blood. As long as he met a member of the Ning family, the token would sense it. Therefore, it was impossible to fake it. The Ning family recognized the token and not the person. In addition, once a member of the Ning family died, the token that represented their identity would also disappear from this world. It would definitely not be left to the opponent. Therefore, it was basically impossible for outsiders to get the Ning family's token. It takes a lot of time to do it now. Master Ning said with a shameless look. Don't think that I don't know what you're planning, but don't blame me for not warning you. If that little girl is missing a single hair, I won't let your Ning family off. The first elder said somewhat angrily. Sometimes he really had no way to deal with this old scoundrel who wouldn't die. However, he couldn't beat him in a fight. Therefore, he could only endure it for now and then find an opportunity to take revenge. That little girl is smart. Don't worry, it'll be fine. Master Ning comforted him. The great elder snorted coldly, then turned his head and back to him, not planning to pay him any more attention. In the room of the inn. Continue reading on MIB0XN0VL. Calm Leng Ruoxue looked at the token in her hand thoughtfully. A black phoenix was rare. How could there be a black phoenix on the Ning family sign? Could this be the pet beast of the old man from the Ning family? Shui, this token is very troublesome. You'd better not take it out. The evildoer sitting opposite Leng Ruoxue reminded her. What's the trouble? Leng Ruoxue was confused. This is the only token in the Ning family. It is different from the other identity tokens of the Ning family. It belongs to Master Ning, and seeing the token is like seeing the person. The demon chuckled as he explained. In other words, this token represented great power. So you're saying that I'm representing the old man of the Ning family just because I'm holding this sign? Any decision I make is the same as old man Ning's? Leng Ruoxue asked with uncertainty. Yes. The demon nodded. What if I use this plate to replace the young master of the Ning family? Can I? Leng Ruoxue asked out of curiosity. Your decision is Master Ning's decision, and the Ning family must obey it unconditionally. Seeing the token is like seeing the person. The demon chuckled. What kind of rule is this in the Ning family? Could a sign decide everything? Then what if this token is taken away by someone else? Wouldn't the Ning family be finished? Leng Ruoxue's thoughts ran wild. The Ning family's brand won't be so easily taken away. The evildoer said helplessly. Shui, heir's imagination was a little too rich. Why wouldn't I? Didn't I just take Ning Rong, heir's sign? Leng Ruoxue laughed evilly. Shui, as far as I know, the Ning family's identity token is divided into two types. One only represents the identity of the Ning family without any power, while the other represents the power and status of the owner. The first type can be obtained by anyone, but only a few people can have the second type, and these people are all strong. It's impossible to take the token from them unless a hierarch comes out. As for Ning Rong heir's token, it only represents her identity as a member of the Ning family. Therefore, even if it's taken away, the Ning family won't care. Moreover, ordinary people don't have the courage to pretend to be members of the Ning family, and they don't know the difference between the Ning family's tokens, so it's useless for them to take it. The demon explained with a smile. But the piece in your hand is of great importance, so it's better to use it less. The demon once again reminded. Sigh. This was a hot potato. If the Ning family dared to hurt Shui, he would not let them go. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing, Leng Ruoxue laughed. Shui, you've decided to find the Ning family tomorrow? The demon asked. Well, if we don't look for them now, I'm afraid the two old men will be anxious. We can't let them stay in prison all the time without anyone noticing. Leng Ruoxue laughed evilly. It was time to take action. Then let's find it. The demon laughed. The next day. Leng Ruoxue arranged for Feng De to find Ning Xiao. Ning Xiao looked at Leng Ruoxue and the rest in confusion. He asked politely, "Miss, is there something you need me for? Shopkeeper Ning, do you recognize this?" Without further ado, Leng Ruoxue took out the token that Master Ning had lent her and showed it to Ning Xiao. Chapter 11:23. There's no need to save them. 5. The clan head's token. The moment Ning Xiao saw the sign, he immediately knelt on the ground and said very respectfully, "Ning Xiao is here to meet the master." Ah! Leng Ruoxue was speechless. It was just a token. Was there a need to be like this? In any case, she couldn't understand the respect her family members had for this kind of thing. "Get up," Leng Ruoxue said indifferently. "Thank you, miss." Ning Xiao was very excited. He had never thought that the young lady before him was actually a member of the main family. He had long heard that the main family's old ancestor had come to the divine mainland. However, someone of his status did not have the right to meet the old ancestor. This young lady had the family head's token, so she must be a very favored person by the old ancestor. He just didn't know if the old ancestor had come to Ning City as well. When he thought of this possibility, he was instantly excited. If he could meet the old ancestor, he would die without any regrets. "Ning Xiao, who is in charge of the Ning family now?" Leng Ruoxue asked calmly. "The master of the family has gone to Qi City. Now my uncle, Ning Fei, is in charge of the Ning family." Ning Xiao answered honestly. "Ask Ning Fei to come here to see me." Leng Ruoxue ordered. "Yes." Ning Xiao replied, then turned to leave. About an hour later, a middle-aged man rushed into the inn. Standing in the living room, Ning Fei was actually a little nervous. He couldn't help but think to himself, "She's indeed the young lady of the main family." He was so nervous that he broke out in cold sweat just by looking at him without saying a word. "You are Ning Fei?" Leng Ruoxue looked at the middle-aged man in front of her and said indifferently. Ning Fei was not as handsome as the other members of the Ning family. Instead, he looked simple and honest. He was a mid-level divine being. Although he was not very powerful, he must be extraordinary since he was able to become the acting master after Ning Hong left. "Yes, I'm Ning Fei." "Greetings, miss." Ning Fei bowed with great respect. To the main family, his status was nothing, so he had to lower his status. After all, no matter how powerful he was in the divine mainland, he was just a servant to the main family. "There's no need to be so polite, clan head Ning. I invited you here today because I have a request." Leng Ruoxue smiled courteously. "Please speak, miss." Ning Fei was confused, but he still asked patiently. Continue reading on MIB0XN0VL. "Com, there are 2 people beside me who have been locked up in your Ning family's prison. I wonder if the acting family master can help me get them out? In addition, I don't want anyone to disclose the fact that I'm here. Can you do that?" Leng Ruoxue asked with a smile. "Yes, miss. Don't worry. I know what to do." Ning Fei promised. Although he was a little curious as to why a member of the main family would be locked up in a cell, it was not a good time to ask about the reason, so he had to agree. After that, Ning Fei bade farewell to Leng Ruoxue and went to the prison in Ning City to pick her up. However, before he left, he still asked Ning Xiao and found out that it was Ning Kai, that bastard, who had locked her up. When he arrived at the prison of Ning City, Ning Fei cursed in his heart when he saw the first elder and Master Ning. Fuck, what kind of person is Ning Kai holding? It was obvious that these 2 people were not to be trifled with. They had actually been locked up for so many days. What made him even more depressed was that these 2 people were related to the young miss from the main family. So, he hoped that they were not from the main family. Otherwise, if the young lady of the main family really blamed him, he would not have a good ending. Ning Fei ordered his men to open the cell door and walked in himself. He slightly bowed to the first elder and Master Ning and said, "I'm sorry for the 2 of you. I apologize on behalf of the Ning family. Who are you?" First elder didn't even lift his eyes as he asked in a cold tone. "I'm the acting master of the Ning family in the godly land. My name is Ning Fei." Ning Fei introduced himself. Oh, then what is your relationship with the person who locked us up? Master Ning also asked. He's my nephew, Ning Fei said honestly. Your nephew said that we have disturbed the public order and wanted to punish us. Are you here to apologize or to punish us? Master Ning asked curiously. I'm here to apologize for my insensibility. Ning Fei said quickly, cold sweat dripping down his forehead. It's useless for you to come. If you really want to apologize, ask your nephew to come. However, even if he comes, we won't accept him. The great elder said angrily. Sirs, I was actually entrusted by a young lady to pick you up. I will personally escort my nephew to apologize to you later. Ning Fei had no choice but to mention Leng Ruoxue. Oh, that girl asked you to come and pick us up. However, it's good that you know we're locked up here. We can't go out yet. Master Ning refused. Ning Fei was depressed. He had already mentioned the young lady, but these two still refused to go out. What did they mean? However, if the two of them refused to leave, he couldn't force them. Don't worry, that girl won't blame you. First Elder consoled. You can leave now. Master Ning also caught up with him. Then I'll take my leave first. Ning Fei had no choice but to leave the cell first. After leaving the prison, he personally went to the inn and passed on the conversation between the two men to Leng Ruoxue. Then, he returned to the Ning family's main residence. The first thing he did when he returned to the main residence was to send people to capture Ning Kai and await punishment. After Ning Kai was caught, the Ning family suddenly exploded. Many people who didn't know the truth were secretly guessing whether this was a war between the first and second household. Everyone in the Ning family knew that the master favored the people of the second branch. However, this time, he left and let the first master become the acting master. The people of the second branch were naturally not convinced and had made many obstacles in private. However, the good-tempered first master had always endured and did not make a move. But this time, he had captured the DI young master of the second branch. In their eyes, this was considered a big move. In the Ning family's meeting room, Ning Fei was sitting in the main seat, and the elders of the Nings were sitting below him. In the middle of the hall stood a man who looked to be in his 30s. The man's face was gloomy and ruthless. Although he was handsome, the cold chi on his body made him look less handsome. This man was also stronger than Ning Fei, a high-level divine master. Ning Fei, why did you lock up Kai? Father isn't here and you're suppressing my family like this? If father finds out, he won't let you off. The man, who was Ning Fei's younger brother, Ning Xiang, said angrily. I locked Ning Kai up because he made a mistake. Moreover, I can tell you clearly that even if father returns, Ning Kai's crime will not be forgiven. Ning Fei said honestly. What crime has he committed? Ning Fei, you have to give me a clear explanation today, or I won't believe you. Ning Xiang shouted at the top of his voice. Ning Kai was his son. Although he was uneducated and incompetent, he would not allow Ning Fei to punish Ning Kai for his crime. He has offended his superior. He has locked up the master in the prison of Ning City. Isn't that enough? Ning Fei slightly raised his eyebrows and asked. Although the lady of the main family didn't mention anything about punishing Ning Kai, he couldn't just do nothing. He couldn't leave a bad impression on the lady of the main family just because of Ning Kai. After hearing what Ning Fei said, all the elders in Ning Xiang were stunned. Someone from the main family came? When did this happen? An elder couldn't help but ask. They only knew that the clan head had brought a group of people to Qi City to meet the clan head of the main clan, but they had never heard that the main clan had come to Ning City. It was unbelievable that they didn't receive any news of such an important piece of information. Ning Fei, who are you trying to fool? Father is currently accompanying the old forefather in Qi City. If someone from the main family really came to Ning City, would father not have told us in advance? Ning Xiang didn't believe what Ning Fei said at all. He even thought that it was an excuse for Ning Fei to punish his son. It's up to you whether you believe it or not. Ning Fei said. First elder, you heard it. Ning Fei is just lying to us. There's no one from the main family. Ning Xiang looked at the great elder and said, After his father left, the great elder had the highest status in the clan. However, the great elder was in the same boat as Ning Fei. Even so, Ning Xiang still had to make him speak for justice. I believe that the acting family head will not lie. He used this kind of thing to deceive us. If the main family finds out, he will not have a good end. The first elder slightly raised his eyes and said indifferently. He was trying to say that Ning Fei would not dare to do that. In fact, he still believed in Ning Fei's character. If Ning Fei really wanted to attack the second branch, he would have a chance to do it, and he didn't need to use the main family, because it would be very dangerous. The main family was not easy to use. Chapter 11:24. Why is your surname Leng? Then where is the main clan now? If someone from the main family really came, why didn't they move into our Ning family's main residence? Ning Xiang asked loudly. Yes, acting family head, where is the head of the family now? We can't believe what you just said. One of the elders said. I promised the young lady of the main family that I wouldn't reveal her identity, so don't ask any more. Ning Fei said in a cold tone. First elder, elders, you all heard it. Ning Fei obviously doesn't belong to the main family, but he locked my son up with the excuse of a lady of the main family. I asked the elders to give me justice. Ning Xiang's face was full of anger. Acting master, the second master's words are not without reason. If you don't let us see the lady of the main family that you speak of, we will be in a very difficult position. Another elder said, Acting patriarch, why don't you go and ask the young lady of the main family for instructions and let us all see her? The first elder said helplessly. He could tell that the second master and his men would not stop until they saw the lady of the main family. All right then. However, I can't guarantee that the young lady of the main family will agree to meet you. Ning Fei said in his heart. Then, Ning Fei stood up and left the meeting room. After Ning Fei left the Ning family's main residence, he went straight to the inn. However, he was still a little uneasy before he saw Leng Ruoxue. Standing in the living room of the inn, Ning Fei's heart was beating like thunder, and he was so nervous that he was sweating. Ning Fei, why are you here again? Leng Ruoxue, who was sitting on the chair, asked in confusion. Miss, the elders of the Ning family want to see you. Ning Fei said directly. See me for what? How did they know I was here? Leng Ruoxue questioned him unhappily. I caught Ning Kai and caused Ning Xiang's dissatisfaction. Ning Fei was explaining when he was interrupted by Leng Ruoxue. So you gave me up? Leng Ruoxue raised her brows and asked indifferently. Continue under screening on OIB0XN0VL. I'm sorry, miss. They didn't believe me. I'm too useless. Ning Fei said with some self-blame. I can't blame you for this. If I'm not wrong, Ning Xiang should be very favored. By the way, whose daughter is Ning Rong? Leng Ruoxue asked curiously. Thank you for your understanding, miss. Ning Rong is also Ning Xiang's daughter. Seeing that Leng Ruoxue didn't blame him, Ning Fei was relieved. Oh, Ning Fei, since those elders want to see me, let them come here. Leng Ruoxue pretended to be troubled. Yes, I'll go back and inform the elders. Ning Fei said happily. Then he saluted and left. After Ning Fei left, the demon held Shui in his arms and asked with a faint smile, Shui, what do you plan to do? I don't know, I'll just take it one step at a time. Leng Ruoxue said helplessly. In fact, she really didn't have any plans. She thought that it would be enough to let Ning Fei know her identity and that Master Ning and First Elder were locked up in the prison. However, things obviously didn't go as she had planned. It was all because Ning Fei didn't use enough strength. Otherwise, who would dare to question his words? Those two old men have been in prison for the past few days. They must have been depressed. When they come out, I'm afraid the good days of the Ning family will be over. The demon said with a gloating smile. Oh, you're right, I should quickly let those two old men leave the cell so that I can return the Ning family's matter to Master Ning. Leng Ruoxue said after some thought. She didn't want to get involved in the Ning family's matters. It was better to let Master Ning handle it himself. Just as the two of them were chatting, Feng De came in to report that the elders of the Ning family had arrived. Leng Ruoxue and the demon exchanged glances and said in unison, "They came so quickly. Miss, should we let them in?" Feng De asked. "Yes." Leng Ruoxue nodded, then pulled the evildoer to the main seat in the living room. After all, she was the young lady of the Ning family. Her status was definitely above the elders of the Ning family in the godly mainland. There was no reason for her to welcome them. Seeing that Leng Ruoxue was ready, Feng De left the living room and invited the Ning family's elders in. Naturally, the second master of the Ning family, Ning Xiang, was with them. First elder, this young lady is the young lady of the main family. Ning Fei introduced them with great respect. "Miss, he's the grand elder of our Ning family's branch." Ning Fei pointed at the first elder and said, "This old man greets the young lady of the main family." First elder bowed slightly, then raised his head to size up Leng Ruoxue. However, the more he looked at her, the more shocked he became. The woman in front of him was the best in both appearance and temperament, but how could her cultivation be only at the mystic divine realm? This was too unbelievable. Logically speaking, a mystic god should not be able to survive in the divine world. However, he was very sure that he had never heard of this lady from the main family on the divine mainland. Otherwise, how could he not know of her existence? Although he was full of doubts, he believed that Ning Fei would not have the guts to lie to them, so he did not question immediately. "Great elder, you are too polite." Leng Ruoxue replied courteously. Her beautiful eyes were constantly sizing up the old man in his 50s. This old man looked very smart and was not easy to fool. However, he was also an old fox. He was obviously suspicious of her identity, but he did not ask anything. However, just because the great elder didn't ask, it didn't mean that the other people in the Ning family wouldn't ask. After Ning Xiang recovered from his shock, he asked directly, "May I ask which young lady of the main family you are, and if I may ask, do you have an identity token? It's not convenient for me to disclose my identity, and I can't show my identity token to all of you." Leng Ruoxue said with a light smile. However, her words made many of the Ning family's elders so angry that they almost vomited blood. Many of the elders were cursing in their hearts. This was too much of a bully. She claimed to be the young miss of the main family, but she didn't produce any evidence. How could they believe this? "Miss, if you can't take out anything to prove your identity, please forgive us for not being able to acknowledge your identity." Ning Xiang's words represented the thoughts of most of the elders, so when he said this, it immediately received the response of many elders. Chapter 1125. Why is your surname Leng? 2. Yup. "Miss, please don't make things difficult for us." An elder took the lead to speak. "Miss, please show me your token." Another elder chimed in. "Do you really want to see my token?" After a long while, Leng Ruoxue finally spoke calmly. "We just want to confirm your identity. We have no other intentions. Please don't misunderstand us." Ning Xiang quickly explained. "Actually, it's for your own good that I didn't let you see it. But since you all want to see it, then let's see it together." Leng Ruoxue smiled faintly. After she finished speaking, she took out a black token from her ring and waved it in front of the elders. In an instant, all the elders were dumbfounded. After they came to their senses, they knelt on the ground and shouted, "Greetings, Patriarch!" Looking at the Ning family members kneeling on the ground, Leng Ruoxue did not let them get up immediately. She looked at the token in her hand and said to the Ning family members, "Do you guys want to personally verify the authenticity of this token?" No need. That brand is real." An elder stammered in fear. They had sensed it the moment the token was shown, so they didn't dare to doubt that it was fake. So, now they really regretted it to death. Why did they have to see his identity token? If they didn't know that she was representing the family head, their lives would have been better. But now, they could only worship this young lady as if she was their ancestor. "Do you all admit that it's true?" Leng Ruoxue asked with a smile. Her beautiful face was filled with worry. Yes. Everyone in the Ning family nodded like pounding garlic. Get up, he said. Leng Ruoxue only spoke up when she saw that most of them were already kneeling. There are 2 people by my side. They have been locked up by young Master Kai from your branch of the Ning family, Leng Ruoxue continued. However, before she could finish her sentence, she was interrupted by an unknown elder. Acting Patriarch, release him immediately. The elder quickly said. I did, but he refused to come out. Ning Fei said helplessly. But. The elder was puzzled. Continue under screening on YB0XN0VL. Calm, I don't know, Ning Fei felt helpless. He had already said that even if Ning Kai went to beg for forgiveness, he would not come out. So, he had no choice. Miss, what do you think we should do? The elder asked with a fawning expression. You're the ones who locked him up. You're asking me, but who should I ask? Moreover, I can also tell you that one of those 2 is the Armament Guild's Grand Elder. Leng Ruoxue laughed evilly. Ah. The Ning family's elders were collectively dumbfounded. The Armament Guild headquarters, Great Elder, was actually locked in the Ning family's prison. What should they do? All the Ning family's descendants knew about the relationship between the Great Elder and the Master. Finished. This time, they had stirred up a hornet's nest. For a moment, even the elders who were close to Ning Xiang couldn't help but blame Ning Xiang and his son. Miss, you have to put in a few good words for us. Ning Fei said with a bitter face. He had long seen that the 2 old men's identities were not ordinary, but he did not expect that one of them would actually be the Great Elder of the Craftsmen's Guild headquarters. If the main family found out about this, the good days of their line could be considered to be over. Don't worry, those 2 are people who clearly distinguish between gratitude and grudges. They won't involve the innocent. However, you still have to perform well. Otherwise, I can't guarantee that they won't settle the score after this. Leng Ruoxue reminded him with a smile. In fact, her hint was very obvious, but she was not sure if Ning Fei could hear it. Don't worry, miss. I know what to do. Ning Fei quickly said. If that's the case, then you can go back first. If there's nothing important, don't bother me. Leng Ruoxue asked him to leave. Miss, you're a member of the main family. You should stay in the main residence when you come to the Divine Mainland. How can you stay in a hotel? If news of this gets back to the main family, they'll blame us for not being able to host you well. Why don't you come with us to the main residence? The first elder said carefully. He still could not figure out this young lad's thoughts, so it was better to be more cautious. No need, it's good to stay at a hotel. Leng Ruoxue rejected. All right then. We'll take our leave first. Seeing how insistent Leng Ruoxue was, first elder was helpless and left with his men. After leaving, the Ning family's first elder and the others went to the prison to see the 2 old men who were locked up. However, they didn't give them any good looks at all, so the Ning family could only return to the main house resentfully. The next day, the great elder of the Ning family took Ning Kai to the prison again, but the 2 old men still only left them with their backs. After this incident, Ning Xiang's status in the Ning family plummeted, and even the elders who were usually won over by him didn't dare to have any contact with him. Ning Xiang's courtyard. In the room, Ning Xiang was sitting on a chair with a gloomy face. No one knew what he was thinking about, but none of his close friends dared to disturb him. After a long time, seeing that Ning Xiang's expression had softened a little, his beloved concubine dared to come forward and act coquettishly. Old master, don't be like this. It's quite scary. Young Master Kai is a good person and will be fine, don't worry. His beloved concubine consoled him. How can there be no problems? This time, Kai has offended the main family. Those old things who see the wind and sail with the helm are not willing to help Kai. Ning Xiang's brows were tightly furrowed, and he was in a dilemma. Although he had many women, he only had one son. So, no matter what, he had to find a way to keep his son's position. Otherwise, wouldn't there be no one to inherit his family? Master, since you've offended someone from the main family, I'm afraid those elders won't be able to help even if they want to. In my opinion, you might as well go to the main family to mediate. Who knows, We might even be able to save young Master Kai. His concubine suggested. It's easy to go to the main family to negotiate peace. With just the token in that young lad's hand, I'm afraid no one from the main family would be willing to stand up for us. Ning Xiang said gloomily. Old master, how would you know if you don't try? However, if you want to solve this matter, I'm afraid that you can only ask the main family's direct line to come forward. If you can invite the young master, there might be room for this matter to turn around, said his beloved concubine after some thought. Chapter 11:26. Why is your surname Leng? 3. Young master? Don't even mention inviting the young master. Do you think I can meet him with my status? Ning Xiang was a little angry. The future master of the Ning family was not someone that anyone could meet. That's why we need to clear it. As long as there are enough benefits, I don't believe that I can't get the main family's direct line to come forward. His beloved concubine said confidently. Let me think about it. Ning Xiang hesitated and did not speak for a long time. 2 days after meeting the Ning family, Leng Ruoxue and the rest finally set off towards the prison cell in a grandiose manner. When they arrived at the prison cell, Leng Ruoxue saw the 2 humans and 2 beasts talking and laughing. She could not help but chuckle and tease. It seems that you guys are living a good life. That's right. Ever since you revealed your identity, the treatment in our prison has been rising. The great elder said with a smile. The excitement of being imprisoned for the second time was much less than the first time. If it wasn't for accompanying old man Ning, he would have been out long ago. He really didn't know what this old man Ning was waiting for. If they didn't go out for a day, the Ning family's heart would be in suspense. Little girl, why are you so free to come and see us today? Master Ning's face was full of hidden bitterness. He had been locked up for so many days, but this stinky girl didn't even show her face. It was really infuriating. I was tired of staying in the inn, so I came out for a walk. Leng Ruoxue replied indifferently. But after all that, he's just here to visit us. Master Ning said gloomily. Yes, I came to see you guys and tell you some news about the Ning family. Leng Ruoxue laughed. What news can the Ning family have? Master Ning asked calmly. He didn't believe that after seeing his token, the Ning family could still turn the world upside down. Ning Xiang is as anxious as an ant on a hot pan, so I want to ask you when you plan to make a move. Hurry up and deal with the person you want to deal with. We can leave this place. Leng Ruoxue urged. Little girl, what's the matter? Master Ning asked curiously. Yes. Leng Ruoxue nodded. Actually, she wanted to find a quiet place to enter closed-door cultivation. Over the past few days, she could faintly feel that her heaven-defying art was showing signs of advancing. This was too important to her. Then give me a few more days. We'll leave when I'm done with the things here. Master Ning thought for a moment and said, in fact, when he went to the street with the great elder that day, he had already understood the situation of the Ning family. He was just waiting for more Ning family members to jump out so that he could catch them all in one fell swoop. Continue under screening on YB0XN0VL. Calm, all right, he said. Leng Ruoxue nodded her head and chatted with them for a while before returning to the inn with the demon. Feng De and the rest went out for a walk on the streets. For the next few days, Leng Ruoxue stayed in the Bengal to cultivate. Unless there was something extremely important, she would rarely leave the purple bamboo house. On a stone chair not far away from the purple bamboo house, the evildoer, Wu, and Leng Ruhan were chatting. Suddenly, Qing Ju appeared in front of them and said anxiously, There's someone outside. The Ning family is here. Send me out and don't disturb Shui. The demon stood up and said, All right, he said. Yes, master. Qing Ju replied and immediately handed the evildoer the bracelet. As soon as the demon came out of the bracelet and entered the room, he heard a clatter outside the room. He frowned and directly opened the door, and said with a slight displeasure, What's with the noise? Commander Yi, they want to see the young miss. Feng De quickly complained. These few days, he had been strictly carrying out the miss orders. He was not allowed to disturb the miss unless there was something important. However, These people were not sensible and insisted on meeting her. It was really infuriating. "Oh, who are you guys?" The demon raised his eyebrows and asked in a cold tone. "We're from the Ning family of the divine realm. We heard that there's a young lady of the Ning family here, so my master wants to meet her." The person who was confronting Feng De said arrogantly. "What a joke. Who do you think your master is?" "Shui, isn't free right now, I want to see you." The demon rejected without any hesitation. "How dare you not meet my master?" When the man heard that his request had been rejected, he immediately became furious and roared. "My Shui is not someone who will meet any Tom, Dick, or Harry. As for you lackeys, don't make any noise here. Otherwise, don't blame me for being merciless." The evildoer said with a look of disdain. After he finished speaking, a bang sound was heard. He closed the door. "Hey, didn't you hear what Leader Yi said? Hurry up and get lost. Stop being an eyesore here. My family's young miss doesn't have time to see your family's master." Feng De looked at the lackey who was still unwilling to leave and shouted, "Just you wait, you'll regret this." After the lackey finished his threat, he turned around and left angrily. After he left Leng Ruox's room, he went straight up to the 5th floor and knocked on the door of one of the rooms. He bowed to the person in the room and reported what had happened downstairs to his master with exaggerated details. "Young master, they actually called you a nobody. They must be tired of living." The lackey said indignantly, "Big brother, don't let them go, I think they're clearly looking for death." A beautiful red-robed maiden chimed in. "Don't talk nonsense. We're all family. You must have gone too far. That's why you've angered her." The young man sitting at the head of the table said nonchalantly. He knew his subordinate's character very well, which was like a fox exploiting a tiger's might. Therefore, he did not completely believe his words. Moreover, if it were not for his subordinate's loyalty, he would not have kept him by his side. What family? They didn't even know where this young lady of the Ning family came from. It might even be a fake. The red-dressed girl said with an unconvinced look. Even though there were many young ladies of the Ning family in the main family, there weren't many of them who had real status. Furthermore, she had asked around and didn't find anyone who had come to the divine mainland. Moreover, other than the direct family members, the other family members were not allowed to leave the main family at will. Otherwise, they would be subjected to the family rules. She was very sure that this young lady of the Ning family from the divine mainland wasn't one of the direct descendants, so she was very suspicious of her identity. Don't talk nonsense." The young man rebuked. Chapter 11:27. Why is your surname Leng? 4. The patriarch was on the divine continent right now. Even if that woman wasn't a member of the Ning family, she must have a close relationship with the patriarch. Otherwise, how could she have the patriarch token? This was the main reason why he had come to the divine continent. "Brother, do you really believe that she's the young lady of the Ning family?" Ning said unhappily. "Regardless of whether she is or not, there's no mistaking that she's someone close to the old ancestor. Do you really think that the old ancestor's personal token can be faked?" The young man said with some displeasure. As a member of the Ning family, they could not recognize their parents, but they could not recognize the old ancestor's token. This was something that they had been carefully warned about since they were young. But how could the old ancestor give her the token? Ning Chie's beautiful face was full of jealousy. Ever since she could remember, she had never heard of the old ancestor giving the token to anyone. Now, it was in the hands of a woman who came out of nowhere and found the old ancestor's token. How could she not be suspicious? Do you think she snatched it from the old ancestor? The young man sneered. But Ning Chi still wanted to argue, but she was interrupted by the young man. "No more buts. Since the old forefather's token is in that woman's hands, she is the young lady of the Ning family. If you see her, you must treat her with respect. Remember to keep your temper as a young lady." The young man warned, and his words were unquestionable. "Yes." Ning Chi replied unwillingly. After Leng Ruoxue came out of the purple bamboo house, the demon told her about this. Following which, Leng Ruoxue sent Feng De to Ning City's prison and told him to inform Master Ning of this matter. In the prison, Master Ning frowned and pondered after hearing this, while the great elder gloated, because he knew that the old man didn't want to be recognized by the people of the master family. I say, Old Man Ning, someone from your main family is here. Don't blame me for not warning you. If little Shui loses a single hair, I'll hold you responsible. Although First Elder wanted to watch the show, he did not forget to warn. Don't worry. With me around, they won't dare to do anything to that little girl. Master Ning said confidently. That's hard to say. If there's no other way, I'll leave the cell first. You can stay in there by yourself. The First Elder said in a bad mood. Why are you so anxious? Aren't Mo Yen and the others with that little girl? With them around, you still don't feel assured? Master Ning reminded. Continue under screening on OIB0XN0VL. Calm, then how long do you want to stay? Your master is here, aren't you going to go out? The Grand Elder asked helplessly. It's not the time yet, Master Ning said with a look of deep foresight. Don't say I didn't warn you. If they come to the prison, they will also recognize you. The Great Elder said. No, I can't let them recognize me now. Master Ning said quickly. Old Grandpa, I have a disguise pill here, do you want it? Chio said as if it was presenting a treasure. How could a little thing like you have a disguise pill? You don't need to change your appearance. Master Ning said with a smile. I'm just preparing for an emergency. Aren't you just in time to use it, old grandpa? Chio said with a smirk. Then, it took out a disguise pill from the storage necklace hanging around its neck and handed it to Master Ning. Master Ning took the disguise pill and threw it into his mouth without thinking. Not long after, under the First Elder's dumbfounded gaze, he successfully transformed. How is it? How's the effect of this disguise pill? Can you still recognize me? Master Ning asked with excitement. It's very effective. No one will recognize you. The First Elder was speechless. He had become like a ghost. Who would recognize him? That's good to hear. Master Ning was very proud. Since this old man couldn't recognize him, then the younger generation of the Ning family who didn't see him often wouldn't be able to recognize him. Stinky old man, let's go out together. After taking the disguise pill, Master Ning couldn't wait to leave. What's wrong? You're not planning to stay here anymore? The Great Elder teased. We can't stay here anymore, let's go. Master Ning said anxiously. Then let's go. The Great Elder stood up and walked out of the cell with Chio and Baby in his arms. However, before they left, they informed the guards in the cell that they were only going out to play and would come back after they had had enough fun. The guards were so scared that their faces turned pale and their bodies trembled. As for the matter of these two big troubles leaving the cell, they naturally forgot to report it to the clan. Master Ning and the Grand Elder went straight to the inn after leaving the cell. However, they met Feng De as soon as they reached the third floor. Why you guys back? Feng De's face was full of surprise. The two men had returned to the inn almost at the same time as him, but he had left the cell before them. It was obvious how fast they were. They were indeed divine emperors and reverent God. He couldn't help but exclaim in his heart. You little brat, what do you mean? Can't we come back? Master Ning shouted angrily. I didn't mean it that way. I just wanted to say, why didn't you tell us that you were coming back? We could have lined up to welcome you. Feng De said, taking advantage of the situation. There's no need to welcome me. I want to see the little girl. Quickly take me there. Master Ning urged. It doesn't seem very convenient now. Feng De was in a difficult position. What's inconvenient about it? Master Ning's face was full of questions. Miss seems to be meeting with someone from the Ning family. Feng De whispered in his ear. Then all the more I have to go. Master Ning thought for a moment. No one would recognize him in his current appearance anyway, so he wanted to listen. All right then. Seeing that he could not stop them, Feng De could only bring the two old men into Leng Ruoxue's room. In the living room, Leng Ruoxue and the evildoer were currently staring at the Ning siblings. Both of them were sizing each other up, and no one spoke first. After a long time, Ning was the first to lose her cool and said, "What's your name? Which branch of the Ning family is she from?" You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.